Chapter 667. Internal strife. Lei Zhongjuan was a person who had seen great winds and waves. He sensed that the power of the evil spirit had reached a very frightening level. With his current strength, he was simply unable to stop it, even if he had a saint weapon. Aside from him, Old Ghost and Crazy Old Man didn't have such an ability. They didn't even have a sacred weapon. So how could they challenge the evil spirits? After hearing Devouring Soul's words, the evil spirit struck out a palm at Lei Zhongjuan. Lei Zhongjuan relied on his battle reflexes from when he was alive to take a step forward and use the soul-suppressing gourd to block in front of him. The palm energy slammed into the soul-suppressing gourd, and he and the soul-suppressing gourd were smashed to the ground. It was unknown whether they were dead or alive. Devouring Spirit laughed heartily and said, "Ha, very good. Now, kill all the humans and then leave this place." The evil spirits obeyed unconditionally and kept attacking from high up in the sky. The terrifying palm print was like the sky falling down, and the power of a natural disaster made countless people feel despair. Bang, bang. No matter if it was a human or an evil spirit, they would all die under its palm. It needed a large amount of blood sacrifice, and no matter if it was a human or an evil spirit, they were all just blood sacrifices. Wails of anguish rang out incessantly. Many creatures died one after another, and a large number of severed limbs flew everywhere. This was definitely a scene of a world-ending massacre. Everyone was crying and howling nonstop. Heavens, please send a saint to destroy these demons. I don't want to die. Could it be that we've really been abandoned? Didn't they say that they could leave as long as they accumulated enough points? It's all a lie. The spatial gate has been completely cut off. None of US can escape. With so many people dying together, this life is not in vain. Ghost Old Man and Crazy Old Man clashed head-on with the three evil demon patriarchs. The two of them were heavily injured, and the three evil demon patriarchs were also heavily injured. They could no longer fight. The spirit devouring is a success. Let's stop fighting and wait to leave this place. Xiaqi's eyes were filled with desire. 3 of its eyes had been destroyed, but it didn't care at all. As long as it could leave this place, it was willing to suffer any injuries. Quickly go to the spirit devouring side, Ho said, and dragged its weak body toward the spirit devouring. 8 arms didn't say anything and flew up with its heavily injured body. It only had 4 of its 8 arms left. Ghost Old Man and Crazy Old Man had their chests caved in, and there were many blood stains on their bodies, and they were breathing more and more. I didn't think that I still couldn't stop it. I really can't accept this. Old Ghost muttered as he lay on the pile of rocks. He really hoped that the saint would appear and take away the Yang family's sinners' blood. Many of them were sinners, but some of their children were not. Unfortunately, he couldn't wait for that moment. His eyes were completely shut, and he couldn't open them again. Crazy Old Man had a crazy personality, but in fact, he was more clear-headed than anyone else. He opened his mouth and cursed. "Saint, are you all eating shit?" He died with a smile on his face, because this was the best scolding in his life. In a corner of the Yang clan's territory, Yang Hongchong, Yang Jingtao, Bai Luoyin, and the 5 heroes were gathered together. They were not dead, but there were wounds on their bodies. Their situation was not good. If Shu Yujun hadn't come in time, they would have died on the spot. Shu Yujun was indeed the eldest miss of the Mount Hung sect. Her life-saving trump card was not something that others could imagine. When the evil spirits were continuously self-destructing, she took out a small crystalline bell. This small bell seemed to be transparent and rapidly grew in size, just enough to envelop all of them. No matter how strong the power was, it would not be able to break through the defensive power of this small bell. Everyone knew that this was most likely a holy bell with a very strong defensive power. Although Shu Yujun's strength had improved a lot, she couldn't use this holy bell to kill enemies. She could use it to protect herself. However, in the current situation, if a saint didn't appear, they would be done for. We're completely done for. Everyone stopped talking, and this was the only thought left in their minds. Suddenly, Shu Yujun said, Let's leave this place. Maybe there's a chance. It turned out that there were evil demons all around, and there was no way out. After a large number of evil demons self-destructed, with the help of the Holy Bell, it should be possible to escape with everyone. But what about the Lord? Bai Luoyan asked. You guys go. I can't leave Wu alone. Yang Jingtao said resolutely. This is all my fault. If I could handle it, everyone wouldn't have to come here to die. Yang Honchong blamed himself. It's useless to say anything now. Let's leave this place first. Yang Wu will definitely have a way to leave. Shu Yujun said with certainty. She believed that when it came to life-saving means, there were not many people present who could compare with Yang Wu. Regardless of whether they were willing or not, Shu Yujun had already activated the Holy Bell and led everyone to break out of here. In the sky, Devouring Spirit looked at the evil spirits slaughtering the living beings and smiled proudly. The 1,000-year plan has finally come to fruition. It's too refreshing. Devouring Spirit, why aren't you opening the seal and taking us away? Xie Mu rushed to its side and urged. Yes, it's better to leave this place quickly. I don't want to stay here for a second longer. Eight Arms said. Let's move quickly. The saints of the human race can't be unaware. Ho Hun said. It's not impossible to leave this place, but there's one last step. Devouring Spirit sneered. What do you mean by one last step? Devouring Spirit, what do you mean? Xie Mu shouted angrily. Haha, of course it's the blood sacrifice of a stronger bloodline. Devouring Spirit laughed. Devouring Spirit, you don't want us to be blood sacrifices, do you? Ho Hun retreated a lot and said, Congratulations, you're right. I want you to be blood sacrifices. Devouring Spirit laughed and ordered, Evil spirits, kill them and carry out the last step of the blood sacrifice. Break the seal. The evil spirits' expression changed greatly and quickly retreated. Their speed was fast, but no matter how fast they were not as fast as the evil spirits. They could only see the evil spirits reaching out with its hands. Xie Mu was the first target. He roared, Devouring Spirit, stop right now. Otherwise, I won't rest until you're dead. Suddenly, he opened all 7 eyes, including the 3 that were injured. 7 rays of moonlight blasted towards the evil spirit's palm at the same time. These 7 rays of light had already exhausted all of its power. Unfortunately, under the cover of the giant palm, these rays of light lost their brilliance and were completely suppressed. In the end, even Xie Mu's body was smashed into a pool of blood. Even a high-level minor devil saint could not withstand the might of the devil saint's palm. On the other side, the haunted soul died even faster. Its soul power attack was completely useless against the evil spirit. It wanted to drag the devouring soul down with it before it died, but the evil spirit didn't give it the chance and completely wiped it out. On the other hand, the 8-armed demon had the most powerful combat power. Even though it had lost 4 of its arms, it was still very powerful when it unleashed its power again. The 4 combat weapons in its hands exploded at the same time, slightly blocking the evil spirit's palm power. Then, it used the blood flight technique to escape from this world. He did not care about the backlash of his power. As long as he could escape with his life, everything would be fine. Who knew that the evil spirit's devil palm was like a dark cloud that covered the sky? It caught up with him once again and directly smashed him into meat paste. The evil spirit's power was invincible in this world. The other minor devil saints who had not died saw this scene and frantically ran away. They realized that Devouring Spirit would not let them go. Sure enough, Devouring Spirit once again ordered the evil spirits to hunt down the minor devil saints. No one could escape from its annihilation. Haha, who else in this world can be this patriarch's opponent? Devouring Spirit laughed heartily. The evil spirit's power became stronger and stronger. It had devoured enough blood sacrifice power. However, at this time, it needed more blood sacrifice power to continue attacking the creatures below. Whether it was humans or demons, they were all killed by it. A large amount of blood sacrifice power continued to increase its own strength. Enough, don't kill anymore. Devouring Spirit controlled the evil spirits and shouted. The evil spirits quieted down, waiting for Devouring Spirit's next order. Devouring Spirit looked at white-haired Demonis not far away and sneered. Do you know why I didn't kill you? White-haired Demonis stood calmly in the same place, not responding to Devouring Spirit's words. Devouring Spirit said again, I want you to submit to me. If you agree, I will let you live. After we get out, I need you to work for me. White-haired Demonis did not speak. She was like a living dead. It seems that you are going to be stubborn like them. Devouring Spirit wiped away his killing intent and said, This time, white-haired Demonis finally spoke. I want to leave this place. Her voice was very cold, as if there was no emotion. It made people unable to figure out whether she was a human or a ghost. Submit to me. Otherwise, not only will you not be able to leave this place, but you will also die. Devouring Spirit emphasized again. White-haired Demonis replied, Impossible. Evil spirits, kill her. Devouring Spirit ordered without hesitation. Unexpectedly, white-haired Demonis displayed a ghostly movement technique. It was as if she had teleported. In an instant, she arrived beside Devouring Spirit. Her finger turned into a sword and stabbed towards Devouring Spirit's demon core. White-haired Demonis was clearly prepared. Her finger sword was incomparably sharp. It contained the power she had accumulated for a long time. This finger sword could at least threaten the might of a half-step saint. This was her true combat strength. Devouring Spirit was locked on by white-haired Demonis. Its entire body trembled. Obviously, it did not expect white-haired Demonis to attack it at this time. Moreover, she came so quickly that it did not even have a chance to block her. Fortunately, it had already issued an order to Evil Spirit. It firmly believed that Evil Spirit would be able to kill white-haired Demonis in advance and save it. Just as Evil Spirit's attack was about to fall on white-haired Demonis, below the City of Redemption, someone suddenly roared, Break for me! Bang! Hashtag, 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 thanks. 774773503, Fong, Jiao, and Xihua. The four-book friends rewarded. Chapter 668. Outside the City of Redemption. Everything that happened here finally alarmed the sages. Of the 8 great ancient families of the war tribe, the Xianyuan and Ho families had already evacuated. The remaining 6 great ancient families had been paying attention to the situation in the City of Redemption from time to time. After all, their descendants with the sinner's blood were also members of their families. Although those who were sent here were guilty, their crimes did not warrant death. If there were descendants with good bloodline talents, they would still receive them. After so many years, the sages found that the demons were much more honest and gradually paid less attention to this place. It was precisely because of this that the demons would seize such an opportunity to break the seal. The few top-notch minor demon saints that appeared broke through before the formation was activated. They had been suppressing their realms and did not break through before to prevent being discovered by the sages and erased. The sages of the various families did not pay much attention to the City of Redemption. At their level, they were basically in a state of seclusion or went to those secret realms to look for opportunities to continue breaking through. The first to discover that something was wrong with the City of Redemption was the Xing family sage, Xing Baiqian. After his imperial edict was torn open, he realized that something was wrong. Xing Baiyan was his descendant, and the imperial edict was given by him. Since the imperial edict was used, it meant that something had happened to him. Xing Baiqian summoned people to find out where Xing Baiyan was and set off for the City of Redemption. Who knew that there was no way to open the spatial door? It was clear that something had happened in the City of Redemption. Soon, he took out a sacred mirror from his family and shone it at the City of Redemption. He could see everything that happened in the City of Redemption clearly. These demons are really bold to want to break away from control. It seems that they have been too quiet all these years, Xing Baiqian said coldly, and swept in the direction of the City of Redemption. The Xing family was located in a territory of volcanoes. The fire energy here was extremely strong, and there was a sacred array that isolated it from the world. Not everyone could discover it. Xing Baiqian had an extraordinary status in the Xing family. His actions had alarmed many members of the Xing family. The sages of the Xing family questioned him and soon found out that something had happened in the City of Redemption. However, those sages did not make any further moves. They knew that Xing Baiqian alone could solve the problem. As a sage, Xing Baiqian's speed was so fast that even space couldn't obstruct him. However, he still needed some time to reach the City of Redemption, and this time was enough for the evil spirit to break the seal. In another direction, there was also a sage flying quickly towards the City of Redemption. This sage was not alone. He was carrying another person. If Yang Hanchang were here, he would definitely recognize that the other person was the Sea Dragon King, Yang Jinghai. The immemorial evil spirit array was a saint-level array. After many years of planning by the devouring spirit and other evil spirits, it was finally laid down. After it was activated, everything was under the control of the devouring spirit. A large number of blood sacrifices strengthened the evil spirit. The evil spirit reached the demon saint realm and was invincible in this world. The devouring spirit was so proud that he wanted to kill all the living beings here. He didn't even let the patriarchs go. Everything was just to make the evil spirit stronger so that it could leave this place better. He originally wanted to keep the white-haired demoness and subdue her. Who knew that the white-haired demoness would not give in and wanted to kill him? He was furious. He was no match for the white-haired demoness. Fortunately, the evil spirit was by his side and could save him. When he saw the evil spirit attacking the white-haired demoness, he said proudly in his heart, "No matter how powerful you are, you will be obliterated by the evil spirit." The devouring spirit was confident in the evil spirit. Just as the evil spirit was about to hit the white-haired demoness, someone below the City of Redemption moved. A loud explosion rang out. It was not a sudden sound on the battlefield, but after the explosion, the evil spirit's attack paused, and its power seemed to be affected. It was obvious that it had decreased a lot. At this moment, the white-haired demoness' finger sword pierced between the devouring spirit's eyebrows. No! The devouring spirit's eyes widened as it roared in shock. Bang! The power of the finger sword was comparable to the power of a semi-sage. The devouring spirit couldn't withstand it all. Its magic core was destroyed by the white-haired demoness' finger. The devouring spirit couldn't believe that it died just like that. It was unwilling to accept this. It had planned for 1,000 years. The evil spirit had been condensed, and even the patriarchs of various clans were obliterated by it. It was only one step away from breaking the seal, but it died in the hands of a woman. It was filled with hatred. In fact, if it knew that the main reason for its death was not the white-haired demoness, but a young man in the intermediate heavenly fish realm, who knew what it would think. That's right, the devouring spirit was killed because the evil spirit stopped, and the main reason was that someone had broken the array. That person was Yang Wu. After discovering the array core with his soul eye, he rushed to it immediately. The array core was not easy to break. There was no way to destroy it with ordinary strength. Fortunately, Yang Wu had the soul eye and found the weakest part of the array core. He directly used the death scythe to completely destroy that place. Yang Wu didn't know what level of weapon the death scythe was. So far, he hadn't been able to make it recognize him as its master. However, the amplification power it displayed now was not inferior to that of a top minor sacred weapon or even a sacred weapon. If it recognized him as its master, he might be able to thoroughly understand its level. The most important thing was that the death scythe could help him exert the most powerful power of the path of death. Any array was composed of array cores and array patterns. After Yang Wu broke one array core, it triggered the whole array. The operation of the entire array was not smooth, and the evil spirit fell into a state of stagnation. With a spurt of energy, Yang Wu quickly rushed to the other formation cores and destroyed them all. Bang! Bang! A series of shocking explosions sounded one after another. The immemorial evil spirit array was completely destroyed, and the power of the evil spirit collapsed and dissipated bit by bit. The white-haired demoness, who was closest to it, revealed a look of surprise as she looked at the dissipating evil spirit. Then, she looked down at the place where the shocking sounds came from. A strange light flashed in her emotionless eyes. After the evil spirit completely disappeared, Yang Wu rushed to the sky and announced, "I have broken the evil array." Yang Wu didn't want to be in the limelight. He just wanted to tell everyone not to worry anymore, even if there weren't many people left alive. The evil spirit really dissipated. My eyes aren't playing tricks on me, right? It really dissipated. Those powerful evil spirits are all dead. This is great. Woo woo. Why didn't you break the array earlier? That way, my mother wouldn't have to die. It's great to be alive. It's great to be alive. Who is that young man? How'd he do it? He really is our savior. Young man, please accept our worship. Yang Wu had no intention of becoming savior, but now it was hard for him not to. However, he didn't want to be in the limelight in this kind of situation. Just as he was about to go down, the white-haired demoness suddenly rushed towards him. Yang Wu's hair stood on end. He quickly entered battle mode. He thought to himself, Lei Zhongjuan can't be dead, right? Thinking of this, Lei Zhongjuan rushed out from a direction with the soul-suppressing pot. He didn't die, but his ghost body became a lot more illusory again. It was obvious that he was seriously injured. Unfortunately, Lei Zhongjuan's speed was not as fast as the white-haired demoness. The white-haired demoness' silver hair swung over in advance. Yang Wu didn't have time to dodge and was bound by the silver hair. No matter how he struggled, it was useless. Bastard, quickly release the Lord. Lei Zhongjuan shouted angrily. The soul-suppressing pot in his hand was already smashed over. Unfortunately, his strength was greatly reduced, and he couldn't display his previous strength. He wasn't much of a threat to the white-haired demoness and was sent flying by her palm. When the other humans saw this, they all roared angrily. Quickly release the savior, you white-haired demoness. Demoness, quickly release that young man. Otherwise, you'll die a horrible death. Quickly release him, or we'll fight it out with you. Some of the humans who were still alive were still hot-blooded. They were very dissatisfied with the white-haired demoness. However, no matter how they shouted, they couldn't change the fact that Yang Wu was captured. At this moment, Shu Yujun couldn't bear it anymore. She released everyone and rushed into the sky with the holy bell in her hand. She didn't say anything and attacked the white-haired demoness. The holy bell bloomed with boundless brilliance. The majestic holy power suppressed the white-haired demoness, who knew that the white-haired demoness was very ruthless. She directly threw Yang Wu towards the holy bell. Shu Yujun was so scared that she had no choice but to summon the holy bell back. Release him, or I'll die with you, Shu Yujun said resolutely. I only want him to take me away. The white-haired demoness said coldly. Then let him go first, Shu Yujun said. I only want him to take me away. The white-haired demoness emphasized again. How can he take you away like this? He must stay by my side. Yang Jingtao, Yang Honchong, and the others rushed over. They all looked at Yang Wu worriedly. They were afraid that the white-haired demoness would accidentally kill him. Let him go. I'll be your hostage. Yang Jingtao didn't hesitate to exchange himself for Yang Wu. The white-haired demoness didn't care about him at all. Let him go. I promise to take you away from here, Yang Honchong said from his side. The white-haired demoness was still indifferent. In the next moment, she seemed to have sensed something and quickly left with Yang Wu. So, everyone only saw a blur in front of their eyes. They lost track of the white-haired demoness and Yang Wu. Before everyone could come back to their senses, a shocking explosion rang out in the sky. This sound was so loud that it gave all the living beings a fright. Immediately after, a figure appeared in the sky. The aura of the saint was like the sun, enveloping all directions. It forced all the living beings to the point that they couldn't open their eyes. Evil demons dare to cause trouble. Wait until this saint exterminates all of you. The saint who rushed over was full of aura. His voice was incomparably loud and clear. Everyone in this world could hear him clearly. When the sound quieted down, those who were still alive looked at the saint who came to clean up the mess with disdain. They all cursed in their hearts. You didn't come earlier or later. You just had to wait until the matter was settled before coming. What hindsight! Chapter 669. Xing Baiqian was a true sage. A very dazzling star pattern appeared behind his head. This was the star mark of a sage, which proved that he was in the beginner star pattern realm. After the dragon transformation realm was the star pattern realm, which was commonly known as the sage realm. 1 to 3 stars were beginner sages, 4 to 6 stars were intermediate sages, 7 to 9 stars were advanced sages, and 10 to 12 stars were top-notch sages. After reaching the star pattern realm, every increase in strength required a long time to accumulate and strengthen. There was a very obvious difference between the martial soldier realm, the warrior realm, and the dragon transformation realm. In other words, the star pattern realm could be divided into 4 realms, which were further divided into 12 star pattern realms. There was a very obvious difference. This meant that the star pattern realm had a qualitative leap compared to other small realms. It was not easy to continue to become stronger. Xing Baiqian rushed to the City of Redemption, thinking that he could be the savior of the world and wipe out all these demons. Not only did he want to save the people of the Xing family, but he also wanted to lend a helping hand to the people of the other families and establish his prestige. However, when he arrived at the City of Redemption, he found that it was not the case. The powerful evil spirits were gone, and so were a large number of evil spirits. Only a small number of evil spirits were left, and they were fleeing quickly. There was no sign of the massacre that he saw in the sacred mirror. Could it be that a sage from one of the families has arrived first? Xing Baiqian wondered. In the next moment, he released his saint will and shrouded this part of the world, looking for suspicious people. At this moment, a voice rang out, "Great-grandfather, you're here." A figure quickly flew up from below. It was undoubtedly Xing Baiyan. "Little Flame, it's good that you're still alive. Great-grandfather was afraid that I would be late." Xing Baiqian breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Xing Baiyan. Xing Baiyan's talent in the Xing family was top-notch. Although he was not the most outstanding 3 to 5 people, he could definitely be ranked in the top 20. As long as he was carefully nurtured, he would definitely become a sage in the future. Not at all. Great-grandfather came at the right time, Xing Baiyan said respectfully. Although this was his great-grandfather, he still knew his limits. They had many siblings in the family, and if anyone didn't know their limits, they would easily be kicked out of the competition. Xing Baiyan was arrogant, but he understood the importance of this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have won the favor of this great-grandfather. "Well, tell me what's going on here," Xing Baiqian said calmly. Xing Baiyan was quite eloquent. He quickly told Xing Baiqian everything he had seen. Of course, he ignored the part where Yang Wu became the savior of the world. He changed the story to that after the demons killed each other, he tore apart the imperial edict and caught all the demons in one fell swoop, which led to the end of the incident. Previously, Xing Baiyan had wanted to use the space gate to leave this place. Who knew that the space gate would not be enough? He and LV Jiaoyan used the holy items on their bodies to hide. They were not discovered by the evil spirits, so they were safe. So you're saying that the evil spirits here were resolved by you? Xing Baiqian was a saint. He knew that Xing Baiyan wanted to take credit, but he didn't believe that an imperial edict could solve the problem here. After Xing Baiyan heard Xing Baiqian's question, he quickly lowered his head and said, "Everything is great-grandfather's credit. Without your imperial edict, I wouldn't have been able to resolve the evil spirits. You're just talking nonsense." Xing Baiqian reprimanded Xing Baiyan in a neither light nor heavy tone. Then he said, "Since the matter here is settled, you should hurry back. The demonic chi here is too dense. It's not good for cultivation." After saying this, Xing Baiqian wanted to leave. To him, the people here were not important at all. It was not worth mentioning how many died. After all, they were all people with sinner's blood. Xing Baiyan quickly stopped Xing Baiqian and said, "Great-grandfather, I have something I need your help with." "Go ahead," Xing Baiqian said. "It's like this. I originally found the corroding flame fire seed. As long as my Xinghua merged with the corroding flame fire seed, it would definitely grow rapidly. It would be of great benefit to me when I enter the dragon transformation realm. However, it was taken away by a boy from the Yang family at a critical moment. Moreover, our Xing family's mysterious phoenix sword also fell into his hands. I could have gotten it back with my own ability, but after the evil spirits, I was busy dealing with them. That guy colluded with the demons and killed Protector Ichio. Great-grandfather, please uphold justice for me. Xing Baiyan made a long story short. He changed the whole story. Xing Baiqian believed these words. His great-grandson's strength was extraordinary. With the imperial edict he gave, he could do whatever he wanted in the City of Redemption. If the other party didn't have anything to rely on, how could he have taken the corroding flame fire seed and the mysterious phoenix sword from Xing Baiyan? The mysterious phoenix sword belongs to our Xing family. Since it has been found, it can't be left outside, Xing Baiqian said firmly. Xing Baiyan was overjoyed and immediately told him about the situation between Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness. He described Yang Wu as the accomplice of the white-haired demoness, not the captive party. This place isn't big. Great-grandfather, let's find them, Xing Baiqian said and released his sacred thought to conduct a carpet search. With his ability, it was very easy to find one or two people. At this moment, there was another explosion in the sky. Two figures quietly broke in from the sky. Xing Baiqian looked at the two people with a trace of displeasure on his face. Obviously, he didn't like the people who came. The gazes of the two who had rushed over also landed on Xing Baiqian. Their eyes were filled with traces of hostility. The people who came clearly didn't want to have a conflict with Xing Baiqian and the others. They swept past them and went straight to the Yang family's territory. Great-grandfather, are they from the Yang family? Xing Baiyan asked with a frown. Yes, they're just some people on the edge. Xing Baiqian responded softly and brought Xing Baiyan to the Xing family's territory. In another direction, Yang Hongchong almost cried tears of joy when he saw the people who came. He knelt down and said, "Greetings, Sacred Elder. Greetings, Sea Dragon King." The other Yang family members didn't recognize the two people who came, but their bloodline was completely suppressed. They couldn't help but kneel down. "Yes, you may rise," the white-haired old man responded softly. Yang Mingfa was the 9th sacred elder of the Yang family. He was a level 1-star rune realm expert and had an extraordinary position in the Yang family. He was also Yang Jinghai's uncle. Yang Jinghai glanced around and asked nervously, "Where's Yang Wu?" They already knew about the demon disaster, so Yang Jinghai immediately invited Yang Mingfa out of seclusion. His purpose was to save Yang Wu. He didn't want such a good seedling to fall just like that. Now that Yang Wu wasn't here, his heart was in suspense. Yang Jinghai threw Yang Wu to the City of Redemption not only to let Yang Wu atone for his sins, but also to test Yang Wu's ability. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let Yang Hongchong follow him. However, Yang Wu was actually missing. Did that mean that Yang Wu was dead? Yang Wu, he sighed. When Yang Hongchong heard Yang Jinghai mention Yang Wu, he felt uncomfortable. He also had a lot of resentment towards Yang Jinghai, so he couldn't say anything. This time, Yang Jinghai was really frightened. He grabbed Yang Hongchong's shoulder and said, "Tell me, what happened to him? He can't be dead. Do you want my grandson to die?" Yang Jingtao didn't care that Yang Jinghai was an elder of the Yang family. He glared at him and shouted, "I didn't mean that." Yang Jinghai replied guiltily. Normally, if anyone dared to talk back to him like this, he would definitely send them flying with a slap. But now he felt guilty. Yang Wu isn't dead. After he solved the demon disaster, he was caught by the white hair witch. I don't know if he's dead or alive now, Yang Hongchong hurriedly said from the side. Then he looked at the 9 Saint Elder and said, "Saint Elder, please go and save Yang Wu. He is a genius with more than half of our family's bloodline power. We can't let him die here. That will be a loss to our Yang family." Yang Jinghai also said from the side, "Ninth uncle, please help with this matter. I've seen that child before. His bloodline power is indeed extraordinary." Yang Mingfa nodded lightly and said, "Tell me about the situation." Thus, Yang Hongchong gave a simple account of what had happened. In the end, he emphasized that it was Yang Wu who had dealt with the evil demon calamity. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. In the end, Yang Wu had been captured by the white-haired demoness, making them even more helpless. This kind of good seedling is indeed worth paying attention to. I'll go find him now. Yang Mingfa replied softly. He found a quiet place and used his divine sense to search for Yang Wu and the white hair witch's aura. The others didn't dare to disturb them. They only prayed in their hearts that Yang Wu was fine. In an inconspicuous mountain, there was a cave in the mountain wall. This cave was covered by rocks and weeds. If one didn't pay attention, they wouldn't be able to discover its existence. Even if someone or an evil spirit discovered this cave, they wouldn't care about it. This was because it was only 3 meters deep. It should be an ordinary cave. One could see the bottom with a single glance. However, who knew that this cave was covered by a formation that had already isolated the real cave? At this time, Yang Wu was brought to the cave in the belly of the mountain by the white hair witch. Yang Wu wanted to use his ice blade wings to kill the white hair witch many times. However, after hesitating for a while, he didn't act blindly without thinking. This was because he discovered that the white hair witch didn't have any killing intent towards him for the time being. It should be because he was still useful. Yang Wu felt that the white hair, which was a bit similar to Meng Bingxue when he first met her. However, the two of them were completely different. Meng Bingxue had lost her soul. However, the white hair, which was definitely a normal woman. The reason why she was so cold and heartless was probably because of her personality. After Yang Wu was brought to the cave, he was ruthlessly smashed to the ground by the white hair witch. "What do you want?" Yang Wu touched his butt and asked the white hair witch. The white hair witch didn't speak. She only gently lifted his hair. Ghost. Chapter 670. Yang Wu really fainted from fright when he saw the white-haired demoness face. A face that couldn't be any uglier suddenly appeared in front of him. No matter who it was, they would find it hard to bear. Her face had crisscrossing scars, and each scar was like a centipede. It looked rather frightening. No wonder she always used her silver hair to cover her face, only revealing a pair of eyes. It was very obvious that she didn't want people to see her face. However, when she suddenly showed her face to Yang Wu, it really scared Yang Wu to the point of pissing his pants. Yang Wu had always been bold, but when faced with the white-haired demoness appearance, his heart really couldn't remain calm. "Hee, that's right, I am a ghost." The white-haired demoness let out a voice that sent chills down one's spine. Yang Wu steadied his mind and said, "What do you want to do? If you really want to kill me, it won't be that easy." "Don't worry, I won't kill you," the white-haired demoness said indifferently. Yang Wu let out a sigh of relief. As long as the other party didn't kill him, everything could be discussed. Suddenly, the white-haired demoness made a move against him. Bang! Yang Wu didn't even have the chance to react. The back of his neck was ruthlessly struck by her blade, and he was knocked unconscious. The white-haired demoness looked at the unconscious Yang Wu on the ground and muttered to herself, "I won't kill you, but that doesn't mean I'll let you go just like this." In the next moment, she fixed her eyes on Yang Wu and muttered something. A streak of soul light appeared and directly entered the space between Yang Wu's eyebrows. High-level bewitching technique. Bewitching techniques were divided into low-level and high-level. Normal low-level bewitching techniques could only confuse other people's eyes and create some illusion. However, high-level bewitching techniques could confuse other people from the depths of their soul, thus achieving the effect of controlling the other party. The white-haired demoness was disfigured. If she hadn't been disfigured, she could have directly bewitched Yang Wu even if she didn't knock him unconscious. Right now, she could only wrong him. The white-haired demoness was at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. She could even be said to be at the half-step sage realm. With the help of the advanced bewitching technique, she could reach the out-of-body state. Using her own soul force to break into the Yang Wu divine court and control his soul was a piece of cake for her. Although she knew that Yang Wu's combat power was good, she felt that no matter how strong Yang Wu was, he was only an intermediate heavenly fish. This was true. With her strength, it should not be difficult to control Yang Wu's soul. When she entered Yang Wu's divine court, she was completely stunned. She had never thought that a Heaven Realm warrior's divine court would be so spectacular. There was a Dao flower with 8 petals. It was like a sacred lotus. Each petal emitted a different color. Waves of pure and flawless aura were intoxicating. In the heart of the lotus, there was a soul similar to Yang Wu sitting there cross-legged. It was like the heart of the lotus, emitting an incomparably sacred aura. The divine court gave birth to a Tao flower. The white-haired demoness was cold, but it didn't mean that she didn't know anything. Otherwise, she wouldn't have cultivated to her current realm. The divine court gave birth to a Tao flower. This meant that he was an extraordinary, peerless genius. One had to know that even at the Star Rune realm, one might not be able to condense a Tao flower. The Tao flower was called the Tao flower. Only after comprehending a certain martial path could one condense a Tao flower. And Yang Wu's Tao flower wasn't an ordinary Tao flower. It was a natural Tao flower. It could integrate martial paths and was a level higher than the Tao flower. Anyone who gave birth to a Tao flower in the divine court would be an extraordinary person. In the transcendent world, there were countless disciples of heaven's prides, but there weren't many who could give birth to a Tao flower in the divine court. Yang Wu was a monster of this level. The white-haired demoness suddenly felt a little afraid. She wanted to leave Yang Wu's divine court Tao flower, but it was too late. Yang Wu's battle soul opened its eyes and said indifferently, "Since you're here, don't leave." The reason why the battle soul was called this was because the soul already had the ability to fight. Especially in its own territory, it had a unique advantage. The white-haired demoness didn't waste her breath on Yang Wu. She insisted on leaving. She had already sensed the danger. Who knew that she couldn't escape? The divine court Tao flower swayed. Balls of soul power formed a barrier, forming an independent space. The white-haired demoness was trapped inside. She couldn't escape even if she wanted to. However, she was a ruthless person. Without saying a word, she used her soul power to attack the barrier. Bang! The white-haired demoness was a peak dragon transformation realm expert. Her soul power wasn't just for show. Unfortunately, when she hit the barrier, she was bounced back. The barrier was too thick. She couldn't break it. "Today, I'll use you to test the power of my battle soul." Yang Wu sneered. He really didn't expect the white-haired demoness to use her soul to enter his divine court Tao flower. He didn't know if she was too confident or underestimating him. Maybe it was both. The white-haired demoness realized that this matter might not be settled peacefully. She simply gave up the impulse to escape. She turned around and shouted, "Bewitching technique." Her hands formed a seal in front of her eyes, and two indescribable rays of light were released from her eyes. These two rays of light contained the power of bewitchment, and one after another, spiritual charms flew towards Yang Wu's soul. Once hit by these runes, Yang Wu would definitely be bewitched by the white-haired demoness and listen to her orders. This was the power of the bewitching technique. If Yang Wu hadn't formed his battle soul, he might not know how to deal with it. Now that his battle soul had formed, these runes were nothing in his eyes. He charged towards the talismans and swung his fists continuously, shattering the talismans. "What other methods do you have? Just use them." Yang Wu looked at the white-haired demoness calmly. Bewitching dance. All of a sudden, the white-haired demoness started to dance an extremely enchanting dance. Her figure was already very good to begin with. Every part of her body was filled with extreme temptation. The clothes on her body were gradually removed, revealing her sparkling and translucent skin. Her plump breasts were faintly discernible. There seemed to be bursts of fragrance pervading the air, capable of making people's blood vessels swell. No matter which man saw it, their eyes would probably pop out and their bones would go soft. Yang Wu seemed to be tempted by this bewitching dance. His face revealed an infatuated expression, and his saliva was about to flow out. The white-haired demoness jumped closer and closer to Yang Wu. When she was about to reach Yang Wu, she was about to attack Yang Wu. Unexpectedly, Yang Wu attacked first. Bang! Yang Wu's attack was too fast. Before the white-haired demoness could react, she was hit by Yang Wu's fist. The white-haired demoness was sent flying. Yang Wu did not let her go just like that. Instead, he said loudly, "You are so ugly, yet you still dare to dance like this to scare people. Don't you know how to piss and look at your own appearance?" Yang Wu threw out a set of combination punches. The strength of each punch was not small. In his territory, his mental power was incomparably powerful. The white-haired demoness could only be beaten. She let out a voice filled with dense killing intent. I will kill you. In the past, she was not ugly at all. Even if she was not the #1 beauty in the world, she was still a top-notch beauty. Wherever she went, there would be men surrounding her. Ever since she was disfigured, her temperament had completely changed. Now, she hated people calling her ugly the most. Yang Wu scolding her like this really pierced her heart. No matter what, the white-haired demoness was still a top-notch dragon transformation realm cultivator. Her soul power was also very powerful. When she sent out a gust of wind, it still forced Yang Wu to retreat. Your strength is not bad, but it's only SOSO, Yang Wu said in disdain. He once again pounced forward. With the power of the broken river palm, he slapped the white-haired demoness soul again and again, causing her soul body to become weaker and weaker. The white-haired demoness completely realized that the soul power of this youth in front of her was different from the rest. She felt endless regret in her heart. She wanted to escape, but she could not. Very quickly, she was oppressed by Yang Wu until her soul body became extremely weak. As long as Yang Wu was willing, he could slap her to death at any time. When the time came, her life would also be gone. Yang Wu clearly did not have any plans to kill her. Such a good fighter, it would be a waste if he did not take her. He cultivated the Soul Control Heart Sutra. As long as he reached the large success realm, he would be able to enslave other people's souls. Currently, he had not reached that step, but for a soul that delivered itself to his door, he could still strip a part of its soul power. This way, controlling the other party should not be difficult. Yang Wu grabbed the white-haired demoness and used the power of the Dao flower to bind her. He quickly stripped a part of her soul body and branded it on the Dao flower. The white-haired demoness once again let out a blood-curdling scream. Her soul was extremely weak. She looked at Yang Wu with incomparable fear in her eyes. She was afraid that Yang Wu would completely leave her soul behind. Clearly, she did not want to die yet. After Yang Wu took a part of the white-haired demoness soul power, he let her go and said, Now, let's talk. Let me go. I won't find trouble with you anymore. The white-haired demoness said, Hee, do you think that's possible? Yang Wu sneered. Then what do you want? From now on, follow me and be my fighter. Impossible. Then you can go die. Can you change to another condition? Do you think you still have the qualifications to talk about conditions? After a round of negotiations, the white-haired demoness lost. However, she made a request, which was that Yang Wu must take her away from here. As long as you sincerely follow me, I will naturally take you away from here. I believe that I can still do this, Yang Wu said with a faint smile. He paused for a moment and then said in a stern voice, Right now, your soul origin is under my control. If you dare to have any evil thoughts, I will be the first to sense it. I will then destroy your soul origin. So, don't do anything stupid. With that, he directly expelled the white-haired demoness' remaining soul from his god's court. Fortunately, the battle soul has been formed. Otherwise, I would have failed miserably, Yang Wu said in his heart. The white-haired demoness' soul returned to her true body. Her aura was in a mess. It was clear that losing a part of her soul affected her greatly. Yang Wu's true body slowly woke up. He said to the white-haired demoness, Adjust your breathing and then leave with me. Chapter 671. While the white-haired demoness was adjusting her breath, Yang Wu was also adjusting his breath. After experiencing the evil demon calamity, Yang Wu's continuous battle with the little devil saint was very beneficial to him. These gains were not only as simple as increasing his Xian Qi, they were also very beneficial to his battle experience. The minor saint realm was one level higher than the celestial fish realm. They could use the Xian Qi of heaven and earth as they wished, and the way they fought had also become very different. The celestial fish realm relied more on their own Xian Qi. Even if they could control part of the Xian Qi of heaven and earth, the power they used was still scattered, and the destructive power was very different from the minor saint realm. The minor saint realm not only condensed the Xian Qi of heaven and earth quickly, but it was also very sturdy. Moreover, when they attacked, it was more natural and smooth, as if it was made by nature. Yang Wu was constantly recalling the process of the battle, sorting out the scenes that were useful to him, and reflecting on the things that were useful to him. He had to constantly perfect the Slay Devil move, and at the same time, he had to comprehend his second move. Slay Devil was something that Yang Wu had comprehended when he was comprehending the Tao. It would not be easy for him to comprehend the second move now. Yang Wu did not force himself. He cleaned up every part of his body, and his body had returned to its peak. Moreover, his strength had increased. This was the benefit of fighting nonstop. Only in this way could his xianqi be more condensed and powerful. The only drawback was that he had forced out a strand of blood from his heart, which had some negative effects on his bloodline power. Fortunately, Lan Yaoji had swallowed the corroding flame fire seed to advance, which helped his bloodline power increase a lot. That was why he was able to withstand this loss. Thinking of this, Yang Wu took out a jade bottle. This was one of the dragon qi that Yang Taihe had given him. At that time, Yang Taihe had given him 5 strands of dragon qi. 2 of them had been swallowed by Yang Jinlong, and he still had 3 strands left. He planned to use them when he was breaking through to the dragon transformation realm. However, he felt that his strength was still too weak. He had to continue to improve so that he would not be scolded when he met Little Hay in the future. Dragon Qi had a great effect on the heavenly fish, as it could speed up its transformation into a dragonfish. One day, it would be able to transform into a dragon. Right now, the dragon energy did not have much of an effect on Yang Wu. It did not have the ability to directly increase his xianqi. It could only speed up the growth of the heavenly fish. It would be even more beneficial for him when he broke through to the next realm. Yang Wu did not even think about it before refining the dragon qi into his body. The dragon qi contained an evil spirit that stung his meridians. It was not something that an ordinary warrior in the heavenly fish realm could bear. However, Yang Wu was different. His meridians were extremely tough, and this evil spirit's stinging pain was nothing to him. Yang Wu activated the supreme 9 profound arts and directly refined the dragon qi into his dantian. He was prepared to let the heavenly fish swallow it all and help it transform into a dragonfish as soon as possible. However, before the dragon qi could reach his dantian, more than half of it was swallowed by Green Sprout. Only a small portion of the dragon qi entered his dantian. Yang Wu cursed inwardly, bandits. He had been observing the situation of the dragon qi to see if the heavenly fish could successfully absorb it. Now that Green Sprout had taken more than half of it, he was heartbroken. He did not understand what Green Sprout was. She had stolen both the holy qi and dragon qi. Did she still want to stay here? Yang Wu had an urge to refine it, but he restrained himself and looked at the heavenly fish. The heavenly fish was naturally close to the dragon qi. When the dragon qi entered, it could not wait to open its mouth and swallow it. After Yang Wu reached the mid-level heavenly fish realm, the heavenly fish could swim and patrol the sea. It was not a dead fish. The way it swallowed the dragon qi was really impatient, as if it had encountered a delicacy. It was really delicious. After the heavenly fish swallowed the dragon energy, it indeed underwent a very obvious change. Its body became larger, its scales thickened, and its whiskers grew longer. Furthermore, it had an additional sense of vitality, as if a real fish was living in its body. Yang Wu looked at the changes in the heavenly fish and was very surprised. Is this the dragonfish transformation that was mentioned in the insights left by Master? Above the heavenly fish realm was the dragon transformation realm. Many people felt that only after reaching the dragon transformation realm could one become a dragonfish and then transform from a dragonfish into a real dragon. But according to the cultivation insights left by his cheap master, the heavenly fish realm could transform into a dragonfish earlier. After reaching the top heavenly fish realm and helping the dragonfish reach the perfect realm, one could smoothly become a dragonfish and transform into a real dragon. Other than that, after the heavenly fish became a dragonfish, it could swallow the power of the outside world faster. It was very beneficial for increasing one's realm. This was also why Yang Wu took the opportunity to refine the dragon chi. Yang Wu's dragon chi was very pure. He had only absorbed a small part of it, but the heavenly fish had obvious changes, which made him very happy. The biggest benefit of the heavenly fish's growth was that it could swallow power faster and increase the speed of leveling up. This benefit was irresistible to any warrior. After the heavenly fish absorbed the dragon chi, he couldn't help but look at Green Sprout. He found that it had grown a little, and there was a faint trace of a dragon pattern on its stem. It was emitting an extraordinary aura. Truly amazing. If you had enough dragon chi, would you be able to grow into a real dragon? Yang Wu thought to himself, who knew that Green Sprout seemed to be able to hear his words and gently swayed. This gave Yang Wu a big fright. Yang Wu withdrew from his inner sight and patted his chest. You scared this baby to death. At this time, white-haired Demoness was already standing not far from him. Her silver hair once again covered her face, and she didn't look at him. Yang Wu looked at white-haired Demoness' graceful back and said, I can erase the scar on your face and restore your original appearance. White-haired Demoness' body trembled, but she still didn't turn around. Yang Wu stood up and seriously said, You cannot believe me, but I will not mistreat anyone by my side. You can get the holy spring? White-haired Demoness said disdainfully. White-haired Demoness wasn't a fool. Yang Wu was sent to Redemption City, which proved that he must have offended someone. Otherwise, how could such an outstanding evildoer suffer such a punishment? And how could Yang Wu get the holy spring to erase scars? The holy spring isn't the only thing in this world that can erase scars. There are also medicinal pills. Yang Wu smiled faintly. White-haired Demoness was silent again, because the holy pill was more precious than the holy spring. Yang Wu knew that white-haired Demoness didn't believe his words. He said, There's a medicinal pill called the erasing pill. It's only a heaven-level medicinal pill, but it can erase any scar. However, the scar on your face is not simple. I'm afraid that the erasing pill alone won't be enough. You must refine the skin rejuvenating pill. Skin rejuvenating pill? White-haired Demoness had obviously never heard of this medicinal pill, but just hearing the name of the pill made her feel a sense of longing. Which woman didn't love beauty? White-haired Demoness used to be beautiful, but something happened that caused her to become like this. If she could really restore her original appearance, she would die without regrets. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Yang Wu spread his hands and said, If you can really take out this medicinal pill, I will follow you and never go back on my word. White-haired Demoness said very solemnly. For so many years, she had cried loudly in front of her face again and again. How many times had she wanted to commit suicide to end her life? But when she thought about how she still had to take revenge, she encouraged herself to live on. Only by living on could she let that bitch have a taste of the pain of disfigurement. I can't take it out now, but give me half a year. After half a year, I will gather the medicinal herbs, and I will definitely refine it for you. Yang Wu said in a deep voice, Why should I believe you? You don't have the right to choose. White-haired Demoness was very angry, but there was nothing she could do. Her soul was in Yang Wu's hands. If she wanted to live, she could only obediently listen to him. Yang Wu took out a medicinal pill and waved it in front of white-haired Demoness and said, This is a star soul pill. If you follow me loyally, I can bestow it to you. Not only can it make up for the lack of your soul, it can also strengthen your soul force and prepare for the future when you condense a saint soul. After I reach the dragon transformation realm, I might be able to refine a saint pill, and it won't be difficult for me to help you break through the Star Rune realm. I know you're a person with a story and want to leave this place. White-haired Demoness didn't say anything. After a long while, she opened her mouth and said, I hope you won't disappoint me. I, Yang Wu, have never disappointed anyone. Yang Wu said with a smile full of confidence. Then he asked, How should I address you? Others call me White-haired Demoness. You can call me that too. White-haired Demoness said indifferently. Okay, I will call you Demoness from now on. This name sounds quite intimidating. Yang Wu said with satisfaction. Then he said, Let's go. I will take you out of Redemption City. Are you sure? Don't you know my situation? White-haired Demonis asked. What other situation do you have? Yang Wu asked doubtfully. White-haired Demonis took a deep breath and said sternly, Whoever takes me out will be the mortal enemy of the Xing clan. Xing clan again, Yang Wu said with a frown. In the next moment, white-haired Demonis briefly explained her situation. 100 years ago, she was thrown here by the Xing clan and almost died. She survived by relying on her vengeful heart, but she also became a Demonis. After the Xing clan threw her in, they announced that whoever allowed her to leave this space would be the enemy of the Xing clan. The Xing clan was at the peak of their power, and their words were very deterring. The other clans didn't want to touch this bad luck. Moreover, white-haired Demonis was so ugly, and she was a Demonis. It was good enough that the major clans didn't make her an enemy. How could they allow her to leave this place? However, white-haired Demonis didn't kill the innocent. If she wanted to kill, she would only kill the Xing clan. She had already become the mortal enemy of the Xing clan. After Yang Wu heard this, he said disdainfully, The Xing clan is nothing. Chapter 672. The Xing family was nothing. If these words were to spread, everyone would think that Yang Wu was courting death. He was provoking the Almighty, and he was brainless. In the war race realm, the Xianyuan and Ho families were relatively low-key. The Xing family was like the sun in the sky, suppressing the other 5 families. This was especially true for the Yang family, who had been suppressed the most. They didn't dare to directly challenge the Xing family, fearing that the Xing family would kill them all. Yang Wu actually scolded them without any hesitation. This was truly a case of a newborn calf not being afraid of tiger. He was only a mid-grade heavenly fish. Even if he could kill a small saint, this bit of strength was nothing in the eyes of the Xing family. Even a saint wouldn't be able to cause any waves in the eyes of the Xing family. This was the foundation of the ancient families of the war race. It wasn't something that ordinary forces could compare to. Was Yang Wu really an idiot? Of course not. He dared to say such words because he was confident that he would definitely become a peerless expert in the future. Other than that, he also wanted to go to the Xing family. The Xing family seemed to have a mysterious essence energy. The Xing family was definitely an unavoidable threshold. Yang Wu brought the white-hair she-devil out of the cave. This cave was already isolated by the white-hair she-devil. No aura from the outside world could seep in. When they came out, they were immediately locked on by 2 auras. Not good. The white-hair she-devil's reaction was much faster than Yang Wu's. She didn't even think before bringing Yang Wu back into the cave. What's going on? Yang Wu asked in surprise. The saint has locked on to us. The white-hair she-devil revealed a worried expression. For so many years, the reason why she hadn't been completely killed by the Xing family was because she had hidden herself very well. Moreover, she had been suppressing her aura. That was why the Xing family allowed her to live here. After the evil devil calamity, her strength had been completely exposed. If the Xing family's saint came, she would definitely die. Truly, what one feared would happen. Xing Baiqian and Xing Baiyan quickly arrived outside the cave. In addition to him, the Yang family's saint, Yang Mingfa, and Yang Jinghai also appeared nearby. Xing Baiqian and Yang Mingfa met again. This time, it wasn't as peaceful as last time. Xing Baiqian stared at Yang Mingfa and coldly snorted. Yang Mingfa, you dare to meddle in my place? Do you want to die? The Xing family had never been polite to the Yang family, just like how Xing Baiqian treated Yang Mingfa. Yang Mingfa's face twitched as he said, This is the city of redemption, not your Xing family's territory. Xing Baiqian glared at Yang Mingfa and shouted, You still dare to be stubborn. Do you believe that I won't destroy you right now? In terms of strength, Yang Mingfa and Xing Baiqian were in the same realm. However, in terms of combat power, Xing Baiqian was indeed superior. He was about to touch the 2nd level of the Xing Baiqian realm. Xing Baiqian, who do you think you are? Come on, don't think that I'm really afraid of you. Yang Mingfa wasn't a coward. He faced Xing Baiqian and shouted angrily. Rebel! Xing Baiqian shouted angrily and was about to attack Yang Mingfa. Unexpectedly, Yang Jinghai said, "You guys fight. I'll deal with the other kid." After saying that, his gaze locked onto Xing Baiqian. It seemed that as soon as Xing Baiqian left Xing Baiyan, he would kill Xing Baiyan immediately. He had the ability to do so. Xing Baiqian shifted his gaze to Yang Jinghai and asked faintly, "You're the Yang family's descendant who calls himself the Sea Dragon King." "Hee, call me Sea Dragon King and see if I'll agree." Yang Jinghai was incomparably arrogant. Not everyone in the Yang family was afraid of the Xing family. At the very least, Yang Jinghai wasn't. In the war clan world, among the younger generation, Yang Jinghai could be considered one of the top. He had once suppressed many Xing family's descendants of the same generation as him. "You have a sharp tongue. If you accidentally die here, I wonder if the Yang family will feel heartache," Xing Baiqian said with killing intent towards Yang Jinghai. As a character on the previous Heavenly Dragon ranking, Yang Jinghai's combat power wasn't to be underestimated. Many people believe that Yang Jinghai could shoulder the mission of reviving the Yang family. The Xing family paid a lot of attention to him. Therefore, Xing Baiqian was able to recognize Yang Jinghai and wanted to kill him here. However, Yang Mingfa would definitely stop him. It wouldn't be easy for him to kill Yang Jinghai. Yang Jinghai was about to enter the Star Rune realm. "Come and try if you have the ability. Let's see if the two of you will die first, or if the two of us will die first." Yang Jinghai replied domineeringly. You'll know soon enough." Xing Baiqian snorted coldly. He stretched out a palm and slammed it towards the cave in front of him. The power of the saint's hand easily destroyed the mountain. Many mountain rocks were sent flying. The concealment array set up by the white-haired demoness was instantly destroyed. Two figures instantly flew out from within. They were Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness without a doubt. "Yang Wu." Xing Baiyan gnashed his teeth when he saw Yang Wu. Before Yang Wu could respond, the white-haired demoness had already brought him and fled quickly. She didn't dare to stay any longer. "Do you think you can escape?" How could Xing Baiqian given the chance? He stretched out a palm and grabbed at Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness. "Ninth uncle, quickly take action. He is Yang Wu." Yang Jinghai urged Yang Mingfa. The next moment, Yang Mingfa also stretched out a palm and blocked Xing Baiqian's palm. "Yang Mingfa, you are courting death." Xing Baiqian roared after his power was blocked. He rushed towards Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness with Xing Baiyan. His goal was to capture these two people. Yang Mingfa also rushed over quickly. However, his speed was half a beat slower than Xing Baiqian. Xing Baiqian's power had already enveloped Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness, suppressing them from midair. "If you dare to escape again, I will immediately kill you," Xing Baiqian shouted at Yang Wu and the white-haired demoness. This voice shook their eardrums. It was extremely painful. This was the might of a sage. Yang Mingfa caught up to Xing Baiqian and said indifferently to Xing Baiqian, "Let him go. That young man is from my Yang family. He is from a Yang family. There is no mistake. He is the one I want to capture." Xing Baiqian roared. He stretched out his palm and grabbed at Yang Wu's neck. He was ready to capture him and hand him over to Xing Baiyan. "Do you really think that our Yang family is easy to bully?" Yang Mingfa was furious. Xing Baiqian had been looking down on him. He even wanted to kill him in front of him. He couldn't endure it anymore. Yang Mingfa didn't show any mercy. He directly blasted his palm towards Xing Baiqian's chest. That sparkling and translucent palm print contained a majestic power that could destroy everything. A cold smile appeared on Xing Baiqian's face. His other hand had already grabbed Yang Wu, while his free hand slapped out forcefully to block Yang Mingfa's attack. At the same time, white-haired demoness and Yang Jinghai moved. They attacked the power of Xing Baiqian's hand that was grabbing Yang Wu. White-haired demoness and Yang Jinghai were both peak minor saints. With their combined strength, they were able to destroy the power of Xing Baiqian's palm. Under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be easy for them to do so. However, with Yang Mingfa involved, it was different. "You are courting death." Xing Baiqian was furious. He roared. The power of a star rune appeared behind his back. The majestic might of a sage covered the sky and crushed down. A beam of star force seemed to be drawn down from the sky. A pair of fiery palms shot towards the left and right. One palm was aimed at Yang Wu, white-haired demoness, and Yang Jinghai. The other palm was aimed at Yang Mingfa. The power of these two palms was like a raging sea of fire. The raging firepower was incomparably terrifying. "You guys back off. I will deal with him," Yang Jinghai shouted at Yang Wu and white-haired demoness. The spirit of the black tortoise appeared behind his back. The spirit of the black tortoise was incomparably solid. It was as if it was stepping on the waves. He waved both of his fists. The black tortoise turned into a real dragon and blasted towards Xing Baiqian's attack. Frightening dragon fist. Yang Jinghai was indeed worthy of being one of the top rankers in the previous Heavenly Dragon ranking. The power he summoned was close to the might of a saint. The dragon's shadow was 10,000 zhang long. When it collided with the fiery palms, the power exploded. The real dragon was smashed into pieces. Yang Jinghai was also sent flying 1,000 zhang away. Yang Jinghai had blocked Xing Baiqian's palm. This was the true power of a saint. Even though Yang Jinghai was only a peak minor saint, it was already very impressive for him to be able to block this attack. The higher one's cultivation level was, the harder it was to advance. The difference between each level represented the difference in strength. Among 1,000 minor saints, there might not be 2 or 3 who could withstand a single strike from a saint. This was enough to prove Yang Jinghai's combat strength. He had already condensed the spirit of the black tortoise. His attack and defense had reached a very high level. That was why he had such confidence. On the other side, Yang Mingfa had blocked Xing Baiqian's attack with his own strength. Not only that, he had also exerted his full strength. He launched a series of attacks towards Xing Baiqian, preventing him from continuing to pursue Yang Wu. Yang Wu's gaze locked onto Xing Baiqian. His eyes were filled with dense, killing intent. He thought in his heart, "I will remember this." Just now, Xing Baiqian wanted to deal with him twice. It had scared him so much that he broke out in cold sweat. He didn't even have the strength to fight back in front of a saint. The gap between them was too big. At the same time, Xing Baiqian's power had caused a change in his supreme 9 mysteries formula. He was sure that the Xing family had another type of profound essence qi. He couldn't help but feel happy. Even if the Xing family was a dragon's lair or a tiger's den, he would still go there. "You guys leave this place first. I will fight with this guy." Yang Mingfa was ready to risk it all. He shouted at Yang Jinghai, "Ninth uncle, you try your best to hold him back. I will kill the kid behind him." Yang Jinghai was a bold person. He still dared to challenge Xing Baiqian's bottom line. Xing Baiqian shouted angrily, "Do you guys really want to die? If you don't hand over that kid called Yang Wu, your Yang family will start a war with our Xing family." The Xing family was growing stronger while the Yang family was declining. The difference in strength between the two families was too big. If a war really broke out, the Yang family would definitely perish. "Then let's give it a try. Jinghai, you go and kill that kid." Yang Mingfa was enraged by Xing Baiqian. He attacked Xing Baiqian crazily to create an opportunity for Yang Jinghai. "Very well, you will regret it." Xing Baiqian shouted helplessly. He quickly retreated with Xing Baiyan. Chapter 673. Xing Baiqian and Xing Baiyan left dejectedly. This time, he came in a hurry and did not prepare much. He had been using his power to suppress them, but he knew that if the Yang clan did not give in, he would not be able to gain any advantage. If he really fought with Yang Mingfa, Xing Baiyan would be the one at a disadvantage. He was too weak, and the other side had a sea dragon king that could fight a saint. This was enough to change the situation. He chose to leave to protect Xing Baiyan. He did not want to be impulsive and cause his clan's prodigy to die here. It was not worth it. It had to be said that Xing Baiqian was a flexible person. One failure did not mean anything. After all, their Xing clan had taken advantage of the Yang clan over the years. It was not a big deal to suffer a loss occasionally. "Great-grandfather, my fire seed," Xing Baiyan said with a bitter face. "You've lost your little life, and you're still thinking about your fire seed." Xing Baiqian said unhappily. He then said, "Remember today's grudge. When you break through to the dragon transformation realm, you must trample all the Yang clan's juniors under your feet. Great-grandfather, don't worry. As long as I break through to the dragon transformation realm, I will definitely fight for the heavenly dragon token. I will make sure that no one in the Yang clan's younger generation enters the heavenly dragon ranking. Xing Baiyin said confidently. All right, since great-grandfather has come out, I will help you find another fire seed to help you break through to the dragon transformation realm. Xing Baiqian said. Xing Baiyin said happily, "Thank you, great-grandfather." After a pause, he said, "Great-grandfather, that which is also our Xing clan's enemy. She seems to be in cahoots with the Yang clan. Great-grandfather is not blind. If the Yang clan really dares to take her out, then the Yang clan will definitely be destroyed." Xing Baiqian said with a cold smile. Could it be that great-grandfather let them go on purpose? Xing Baiyin asked suspiciously. Hee, you will understand in the future. If anyone dares to let that woman out, then the world will be turned upside down. Xing Baiqian left. Yang Mingfa let out a sigh of relief. He looked at Yang Wu with a scrutinizing gaze, then glanced at the white-haired demoness before saying, "You colluded with the demoness?" Yang Mingfa's words were full of questions. The might of a saint was enough to make others breathless. This pressure might work on others, but it didn't work on Yang Wu. He looked at Yang Mingfa and bowed slightly. "Thank you for saving my life. I will definitely repay you in the future." After he finished speaking, he didn't pay any attention to Yang Mingfa and Yang Jinghai, and he bid farewell to white-haired she-devil before turning around and leaving. Bastard, what kind of attitude is this? Yang Mingfa was furious. He had withstood Xing Baiqian's pressure and forced the other party to leave. He did not expect that Yang Wu would actually dare to put on airs in front of him right after he rescued Yang Wu. Yang Wu stopped and said, "I wonder if there's anything else, senior?" Yang Mingfa was rendered speechless by Yang Wu's rhetorical question. He saved Yang Wu because of Yang Jinghai, but Yang Wu's identity had yet to be confirmed. Yang Wu, this is the holy elder of our Yang family. You can respectfully call him ninth great-grandfather, Yang Jinghai said from the side. Yang Wu smiled faintly and said, "I'm still unworthy. Kid, do you really think I don't dare to kill you?" Yang Mingfa was angered by Yang Wu's attitude and said with dissatisfaction, "Ninth great-uncle, let me handle this matter." Yang Jinghai said to smooth things over. Then he looked at Yang Wu and said, "Yang Wu, have you forgotten the purpose of coming to the City of Redemption?" "I wouldn't dare to forget." Yang Wu replied, "That's good. You have accumulated enough points to atone for your sins. You and your grandfather can return to our Yang family." Yang Jinghai smiled faintly. After they came to the City of Redemption, they had already heard of Yang Wu's deeds. Yang Wu had killed the little great devil saint and broken the ancient heretic array. This was more significant than Yang Wu killing many evil demons. Yang Jinghai looked at Yang Jingtao's domino. Yang Jingtao's domino and Yang Wu's domino were connected together. The points were calculated together and had met the requirements for atonement. Therefore, Yang Jinghai announced that Yang Wu could return to the Yang family. This also proved that Yang Wu had passed Yang Jinghai's test. Yang Jinghai was extremely satisfied with Yang Wu. At the same time, Yang Jinghai was also quite regretful. If Yang Wu did not have the ability to break the array, Yang Wu would really be buried here. He heard Yang Hongchang's report that Yang Wu's bloodline power had reached the Black Tortoise spiritualization stage. This proved that Yang Wu's bloodline power was getting stronger and stronger. If such a prodigy died here, he would be a sinner in the family. Yang Wu's heart was slightly touched, but his face was still indifferent as he said, "That's good. I can also fulfill my promise to my grandfather. Then welcome back to our Yang family. How about we write off all the unhappiness in the past?" Yang Jinghai said kindly, "I'm not a member of your Yang family. I'm just fulfilling my promise to my grandfather." Yang Wu replied indifferently. Yang Mingfa, who was beside Yang Jinghai, blew his beard. Yang Wu's attitude made even a saint angry. Yang Jinghai was still not angry, but smiled and said, "It's useless for a young man to be angry. If you're a bit more rational, Then listen to me and return to the Yang family. In the future, our Yang family will do our best to nurture you. You will grow even faster. This is the best choice for you. If you continue to be childish, then I will be too disappointed. Perhaps I can only personally take away your bloodline power. Yang Jinghai's patience was limited. He was kind to Yang Wu because he felt a bit guilty, but if he really wanted to be ruthless, he did not mind giving Yang Wu a taste of his own medicine. Yang Wu revealed a sullen expression and said, "Who do you think I, Yang Wu, am? Were they inferior mortals that could be ordered to come and go at your whims? Even if our ancestors were wrong, you shouldn't treat my grandfather like that. He sincerely wants to return to the Yang family, but you don't like him and even make things difficult for him. As his grandson, I can't take this lying down. That's right, my grandfather stubbornly wants to return to the Yang family, but this family doesn't even have a bit of humanity. It's fine if we don't return. The world is so big, there will always be a place for us to stay." Yang Wu vented all the pent-up anger in his heart. He really could not stand the way the Yang family acted. Nothing can be accomplished without rules. Your ancestors made a mistake, so it is normal for them to be punished. As descendants, it is natural for you to atone for their sins. In the secular world, once a person is convicted of a great crime, their entire family will be executed. You can't even recognize this cruel fact. It seems like it will be difficult for you to become a great person in the future, Yang Jinghai said with a trace of disappointment. In the next moment, he suddenly grabbed at Yang Wu. The white-haired she-devil, who had been guarding Yang Wu, quickly blocked Yang Jinghai. "Oof." Yang Mingfa snorted coldly, and the pressure of a saint swept towards the white-haired she-devil. "Stop. I still have something to say," Yang Wu said loudly. "What else do you have to say? You think you can ignore my Yang family just because you're in the heavenly fish realm? You have to know that the world's geniuses die young, like carps crossing the river. For a hothead like you, it doesn't matter if you die." Yang Mingfa seemed to have sentenced Yang Wu's fate, and then he personally attacked Yang Wu. "If you don't want to know whether Yang Taihe is dead or alive, then kill me," Yang Wu said, throwing caution to the wind. Yang Mingfa's palm force was about to land in front of Yang Wu, but he instantly stopped. Yang Wu's hair and clothes were blown up, and his face was burning from the force of the blow. It was extremely uncomfortable. If he had been a little slower, this palm would have been enough to slap him into a pulp. "What did you just say? Say it again." Yang Mingfa appeared in front of Yang Wu and said loudly. Yang Mingfa was not a saint who got angry easily, but after going against the Xing Baiqian today, his mood had become a lot heavier. Yang Wu had repeatedly talked back to him rudely. Even a bodhisattva would get angry 3 times. He really wanted to slap Yang Wu to death. The power of a saint was irreversible. Yang Jinghai did not expect Yang Mingfa to be so angry. He also faintly felt that the name Yang Wu had just thrown out was too scary. Yang Wu did not feel the slightest bit afraid of Yang Mingfa's pressure. He said slowly, "Yang Taihe is not dead yet." Yang Wu was shocked speechless by Yang Mingfa's words. He stared at Yang Wu for a long time, and his face was full of disbelief. On the other hand, Yang Jinghai reprimanded him. "What nonsense are you talking about? Patriarch Taihe has already passed away." Everyone knew Yang Taihe's name. He had left an illustrious reputation in the Yang clan. Later on, something unknown happened, which led to Yang Taihe's death. In the beginning, the Yang clan blamed Yang Taihe for coveting the treasures in the dragon's tomb. Later on, they realized that they had been tricked by the Xing clan and Mount Amei. They had wrongly blamed Yang Taihe, which led to Yang Taihe's death. This had dealt a blow to the Yang clan's morale, causing the Yang clan to plummet. After thousands of years, the Yang clan had already forgotten about Yang Taihe. However, in the Yang clan's mausoleum, Yang Taihe's name was still high and mighty. Yang was too lazy to explain. He originally wanted to negotiate with the higher-ups of the Yang clan. However, the Yang clan's current situation did not seem to be very peaceful. He could only leak some information and see how Yang Mingfa would react before making a fuss. "What did you hear about Patriarch Taihe?" Yang Mingfa looked at Yang Wu and asked solemnly. "Do you believe me?" Yang Wu asked in return. Yang Mingfa muttered, I can feel the truth of your words. Moreover, you wouldn't dare lie to me. Otherwise, you and your grandfather would die without a burial ground, including those related to you." Yang Mingfa's words were very overbearing. Yang Wu found them very grating, but he had to admit that Yang Mingfa had the ability to do so. Yang Mingfa used both the carrot and the stick. He then said, "If your information is correct, I will take you back to the Yang clan and add your ancestors to the family tree. I will give you the best treatment. Those who have made things difficult for you will receive the harshest punishment and will also be given extra rewards. What do you think? Do you mean what you say?" Yang Wu asked again. Yang Jinghai said from the side, "Ninth uncle has always been a man of his word." After a moment of silence, Yang Wu took out a piece of sacred bone and said seriously, "Okay, then I'll tell you. Yang Taihe is not dead. I have his keepsake here." Chapter 674. When Yang Mingfa saw the holy bone, he immediately knelt down in tears and cried, "Great-grandson Yang Mingfa greets the ancestor." Yang Taihe and the dragon girl fell in love, but it did not mean that he had no descendants. On the contrary, he had several wives and concubines to continue his bloodline. Yang Mingfa was one of Yang Taihe's descendants. After Yang Mingfa saw the holy bone, the bloodline power in his body surged. This feeling from his relatives could not be wrong. As a saint, he could not be wrong. Suddenly, a shadow emerged from the bone. It was an extremely imposing figure. He looked to be in his early 30s and was in the prime of his life. He was extraordinarily handsome and had an imposing aura. White hair had grown on both sides of his temples, and his eyes were filled with the vicissitudes of life. This was the appearance of Yang Taihe. This time, Yang Jinghai was so scared that he quickly knelt down and did not dare to look directly at Yang Taihe. Yang Taihe was one of the legendary figures of the Yang family. If he had not fallen, the Yang family would not have declined to this point. Yang Taihe glanced at Yang Mingfa and then looked at Yang Wu. He smiled faintly and said, "You did not let me down, but this does not seem to be the place of the Yang family in the world of battles." Yang Wu bowed respectfully and said, "Senior, Yang Wu dares not forget your request." Yang Mingfa and Yang Jinghai immediately understood that Yang Wu and Yang Wu had a deep connection. They were quite annoyed with their previous behavior. At the same time, they felt that Yang Wu had known about Yang Tai's existence for a long time, but did not tell them. They felt that this boy had hidden too deeply. The next moment, Yang Taihe looked at Yang Mingfa and asked lightly, "How is the Yang family now?" Yang Mingfa was as respectful as a child and answered honestly, "Ancestor, more than half of the Yang family's world of battles has been destroyed. Now the family is weak, and many of the descendants have uneven bloodlines. They are far inferior to other families." Yang Mingfa talked a lot about the specific situation of the Yang family and did not hide anything. Yang Wu, who was on the side, also carefully remembered it in his heart. In the future, he would inevitably enter this family, so it would be good to know more about the situation. Yang Wu's eyes almost popped out of their sockets when he heard Yang Mingfa say that there were less than 30 sages in the Yang family. Such an ancient family was truly powerful, but the Yang clan was not even 1/10 of its peak strength. It could be seen how glorious and powerful the Yang clan was in the past. After Yang Taihe heard this, his face revealed a grave expression. Obviously, he felt that the current situation of the Yang family was very bad. Is all of this due to the suppression of the Xing family and a Mei sect? Yang Taihe asked. It's mainly the Xing and Lu families. The two families are very close. A few hundred years ago, something happened, and the Xinyuan family also participated, which caused our family to decline so quickly. Yang Mingfa sighed. Why is the Xinyuan family involved as well? Yang Taihe asked with a worried expression. Old ancestor, now is not the time to care about these things. How is your situation now? Do you need us to do anything? Yang Mingfa asked. Yes, I need your help. Please use my Yang family's ancestral artifact to help me escape from the dragon tomb. Yang Taihe said in a low voice. After a pause, he said, I don't have much power left. Take my saint bone back to the family as soon as possible. I will tell you what to do. Yes, old ancestor, Yang Mingfa replied. Yang Taihe glanced at Yang Wu and said, Little brother, I might need your help again. When I am free, I will repay you generously. After saying that, he sent his remaining power into the Saint Bone again. Yang Wu was a little confused. He was only at the intermediate heavenly fish realm. Why would he need his help again? He could not understand, but he did not continue to think about it. In any case, his mission had been completed. After Yang Mingfa respectfully put away the sacred bone, the way he looked at Yang Wu was completely different. His eyes were incomparably kind, as if he was treating Yang Wu as his own grandson. He softly said, You are very good. Everything that happened before was our fault. After returning to the family, I will personally prove it for you. However, the mistake made by your ancestor has caused too great a loss to our Yang family. I'm afraid that there will be some old fellows in the family who will have objections. When old ancestor Tai he returns, I believe that they won't even dare to fart. Thank you, senior. Yang Wu finally showed respect to Yang Mingfa. There is no time to lose. I must return to the family to discuss the matter of rescuing old ancestor Taihe. Jinghai, you stay and deal with Yang Wu. You must be decisive and give them the preferential treatment of direct descendants. After Yang Mingfa said this, he quickly rushed into the sky and disappeared. After Yang Mingfa left, Yang Jinghai gave Yang Wu a thumbs up and said, Kid, you are really good. Yang Wu replied, You flatter me. Why didn't you take out the Saint Bone when you saw me? Would you have believed me at that time? Well, no matter what, you have made a great contribution. If you have any requests later, as long as they are not excessive, I can make the decision for you. Let's finish my grandfather's matter first. We can talk about other things later. Okay, we will go back now. Yang Jinghai nodded and then stared at white-haired Demonis and said, You can leave by yourself. Don't harm this kid. White-haired Demonis did not say anything. She only looked at Yang Wu. Everything was decided by Yang Wu. She is now my follower. I will take her with me. Yang Wu replied from his side. Yang Jinghai's eyes jumped in surprise. She is your follower? Yang Wu nodded to express his affirmation. Then you cannot take her out. If you do, not only will she die, my Yang family will not have an easy time either. Yang Jinghai said. After a pause, he said to white-haired Demonis again, You should leave immediately. Don't make me kill you. Yang Jinghai did not believe that Yang Wu could subdue white-haired Demonis. He even suspected that Yang Wu was controlled by her. If he tells me to leave, I will leave. White-haired Demonis looked at Yang Wu and said, He does not know the situation. Stop trying to trick him. Hurry up and scram. Yang Jinghai said without any trace of politeness. White-haired Demonis' silver hair floated in the air. She released her aura as if she wanted to fight with Yang Jinghai. She coldly said, No wonder your Yang family has always been inferior to the Xing family. It is because you're always afraid of trouble. Whatever you say, are you going to scram or not? Yang Jinghai said disapprovingly. The woman in front of him was very important. She had once offended an important person in the Xing family. If she really left, then the Yang family would not have peace. I want to take her out of here. This is what I promised her. Yang Wu once again said seriously. Do you know who she is and who she offended? If you take her out, then the Xing family will definitely fight with us. Yang Jinghai angrily looked at Yang Wu and said, If it wasn't for Yang Taihe, he really wanted to slap Yang Wu awake. I don't care. In any case, I have to do what I promised her. If you are afraid of the Xing family coming, then I will not enter your family. Yang Wu said stubbornly. Yang Wu was someone who kept his promises. Since he had already taken in white-haired Demonis as a follower, then he would not easily give her up. This was not his personality. She offended the previous generation's holy maiden of the Xing family. She has already said that whoever lets her out will be the enemy of the Xing family. The Xing family is several times stronger than our Yang family, perhaps even more than 10 times stronger. With your ability, how can you fight with them? You should wake up, Yang Jinghai said with a bit of disappointment. In his eyes, any outstanding genius was decisive and decisive. They were incomparably calm people. Only like this could they have some achievements. However, Yang Wu did not see the big picture. No matter how good his talent was, his achievements would be limited. Yang Wu fell silent. He was amenable to coaxing, but not coercion. Since Yang Jinghai had already said this, there was no point in him continuing to argue. It was better to think of a solution. White-haired demoness stared at Yang Wu, waiting for Yang Wu to make his final decision. Yang Wu was her only hope of leaving this place. If he gave up on her, then she could only spend the rest of her life here. After a long while, Yang Wu took a deep breath and said, "Her soul is already under my control. She's indeed my follower. Moreover, I promised her that I would definitely take her away. Moreover, I will also heal her face. As a man, there are things that he cannot do. If your Yang family is afraid, then don't worry about it. I will not enter your Yang family's door. I will take her away. I believe that the Xing family will not anger you." White-haired demoness' eyes revealed a trace of emotion, but it was covered by her silver hair. No one noticed her abnormality. Suddenly, Yang Jinghai laughed and said, "Haha, you are really stubborn. In that case, take her away. Anyway, when has the Xing family ever been on good terms with our Yang family? If they really dare to come, we will fight them. Our Yang family is not afraid of any challenge." Just now, Yang Jinghai was just testing Yang Wu. Since Yang Wu wanted to go all the way, then let him be. "Thank you." Yang Wu cupped his hands and said gratefully, "Cut the crap. Let's go back first. I'm afraid your grandfather can't wait." Yang Jinghai said. Yang Wu nodded and followed Yang Jinghai back to the City of Redemption. When Yang Wu returned, Yang Jingtao, Yang Hongchong, Shu Yujun, and the others immediately surrounded him. Their faces were full of joy. As long as Yang Wu was safe, they were completely relieved. However, when they saw white-haired demoness coming back with him, they were shocked. Fortunately, Yang Wu explained in time, so they did not immediately attack her. "I will go take a look at the spatial door," Yang Jinghai said as he walked towards the space gate. He wanted to make sure that the space gate had returned to normal. "Wu-er, we can finally return to the family." Yang Jingtao wiped away a trace of mist and said to his grandson. The ancestral wish that he had persisted for many years was finally fulfilled by his grandson. This was the joy and harvest of surviving a disaster. He was extremely gratified in his heart. "You are indeed my grandson. You are indeed great." Chapter 675. After the immemorial evil spirit array was destroyed, the spatial door of the City of Redemption was restored once again. However, Yang Wu didn't leave immediately. He asked his grandfather, Yang Jingtao, Yang Hongchong, and the others to leave first and return to the clan for the return ceremony. Yang Wu didn't intend to participate. He was thinking about how to bring white-haired demoness out and how to do things more securely. Although Yang Jinghai didn't mind him bringing her out, he knew very well that it wasn't appropriate to be so high-profile for the time being. It wouldn't be too late to bring her out after reducing the attention as much as possible. Besides, he still had some things to do here. He had to walk through the evil spirit's territory and collect some herbs that would be helpful for his alchemy. This time, only Yang Wu, Shu Yujun, and Lei Zhongjun stayed behind. Bai Luoyun and the 5 heroes of the Proud Sword were chased out by Yang Wu. Lei Zhongjun didn't die. His ghost body had just been condensed and wouldn't collapse so easily after receiving a heavy blow. He just needed to recuperate for a while. So many people had died in this world, and many remnant souls were absorbed by him. His ghost body once again became much more abundant. Yang Wu didn't let go of the rich death aura here. He released the Tao of Death and absorbed a large amount of death aura. Not only did his Tao of Death reach a higher level, but his energy center strength was also greatly improved. The huge heavenly fish devoured energy extremely quickly, helping Yang Wu to reach the mid-stage of the heavenly fish realm. The speed of his improvement was quite fast. The Tao of Death was a kind of martial arts. Absorbing death aura could strengthen one's martial arts power. A large number of creatures had died in this world. Whether it was the human race or the evil spirit race, there were hundreds of thousands of them. Even Yang Wu's Tao of Death couldn't absorb this huge amount of death aura in a short period of time. When Yang Wu absorbed to a certain extent, the Tao of Death stopped. He couldn't continue to absorb unless he could increase his realm. He could only let the death aura dissipate in this world. In the next few days, he brought Shu Yujun, Lei Zhongjuan, and the white-haired demoness to all the important locations of the evil race. They obtained many medicinal herbs, and even minor saint herbs and minor saint artifacts. Even though these things were tainted with demonic aura, they were nothing to Yangwu. Herbs with demonic aura had their own unique effects. Other alchemists didn't know how to use them, but that didn't mean that he didn't know how to use them. Among the pill recipes he had, there were also demonic-type pills that could be used to nurture demonic spirits. After receiving these items, Yang Wu thought of Yang Ba's corpse. He pursed his lips and decided to bury Yang Ba. Yang Ba was one of Yang Wu's ideal followers. That guy was talented and domineering enough. He was the best person to be his right-hand man. Unfortunately, he died in order to save him. He couldn't help but feel sad. When he arrived at the place where he buried Yang Ba, he suddenly felt the fluctuation of vitality. He quickly rushed over and saw Yang Ba sitting cross-legged on a rock. This guy didn't die. Yang Ba. Yang Wu cried out in surprise. Yang Ba slowly opened his eyes and said with a sigh of relief, "You haven't left yet?" This place was already in its final stages. Yang Ba relied on Yang Wu's heart blood to produce a trace of undying energy to help him regain his vitality. These few days, he had been recuperating. He guessed that Yang Wu might have left, so he stayed here to recuperate. He didn't expect that Yang Wu would actually come back to see him. He was still a little touched in his heart. After experiencing a narrow escape from death, Yang Ba understood a lot. Maybe you should make some changes. I said I would bring you out, so I will bring you out. How about it? Are you interested? Yang Wu looked at Yang Ba casually and said, "You are the Lord. If you bring me out, I will go out." Yang Ba stood up and bowed to Yang Wu. This time, he really expressed that he would follow Yang Wu. Yang Wu quickly went forward to help him up and said seriously, "You saved my life. From now on, you are my, Yang Wu's brother. I, Yang Ba, have never submitted to anyone. Now I only submit to you. If you tell me to go east, I will not go west. If you tell me to go west, I will not go east." Yang Ba said with certainty. From now on, Yang Wu had an unruly little overlord by his side. "Okay, you guys protect me here. I will refine the antidote for the heart-devouring pill," Yang Wu said happily. "You can refine the heart-devouring pill antidote?" White-haired demoness who had been silent all this time asked. "You'll know whether or not I can concoct it later," Yang Wu replied. He then chose a good place and began to concoct the pill. Heart-devouring pill was an extremely vicious pill. Ordinary antidotes had no way to detoxify the heart-devouring poison. Only the antidote of the sacred medicine was useful. But for Yang Wu, the heart-devouring pill had other detoxification. That was the demonic pill, Evil Heart Pill. Evil Heart Pill was a kind of poisonous pill that was not inferior to the heart-devouring pill. Ordinary people who ate the Evil Heart Pill would die. But this kind of poisonous pill could play the role of fighting poison with poison on the heart-devouring pill. It could remove the toxicity of the heart-devouring pill. This was the best solution that Yang Wu came up with. Although there were other high-level pills that could restrain the heart-devouring pill, but there were not enough herbs. He could only use this kind of prescription to detoxify. This kind of poisonous pill was not easy to refine. Only a brilliant poison master knew how to refine it. But this was not difficult for Yang Wu. When the Evil Heart Pill was refined, there was also the power of heavenly thunder that struck down. But the momentum was not very fierce. It was easily received by Yang Wu. Shu Yujun and Yang Ba frowned when they smelled a trace of poisonous gas. They did not know what kind of pill Yang Wu was refining. Why did they feel that the smell of the pill was completely different from other pills? Yang Wu took out 8 Evil Heart Pills. He took out 2 of them and handed them to Shu Yujun and Yang Ba respectively. He said, "This is the Evil Heart Pill. It is the same as the heart-devouring pill. But the 2 pills' medicinal properties are opposite to each other. After taking it, it can completely remove the medicinal properties of the heart-devouring pill." After pausing for a moment, he added, "To be safe, I will refine this spirit-cleansing, evil-suppressing pill for you. When the time comes, it can remove the demonic chi in your body. There will be no future trouble. With that, he continued to refine the pill. This time, he was mainly refining the spirit-cleansing, evil-suppressing pill. This was a minor saint-level pill. When he first entered the city of redemption, he did not have the ability to refine the minor saint pill. But after he obtained the corroding flame fire seed, Blue Beauty's power increased greatly. She could support him in refining the minor saint pill. After he refined the spirit-cleansing, evil-suppressing pill, there was a terrifying heavenly thunder that struck down at him. This was the minor saint pill tribulation. This wave of heavenly thunder was much more terrifying than the evil heart pill heavenly thunder from before. Every bolt was earth-shattering. Its power was shocking. It was enough to shatter a mountain. Yang Wu circulated the 9 lightning body tempering technique and crazily absorbed the heavenly thunder to strengthen his heavenly thunderbone. When everyone saw this scene, they revealed a trace of respect. Even a minor saint would be afraid of such heavenly thunder. However, Yang Wu could take it head-on. His physical body was really strong. Lei Zhongjuan did not stay idle. No one knew what secret technique he used, but he actually attracted the remnant heavenly thunder to him. Lei Zhongjuan cultivated the ghost cultivation art. He cultivated the ghost physique. He mainly cultivated the dark, profound qi. The heavenly thunder was one of the main powers that restrained his ghost physique. Was he not afraid of damaging his ghost physique by doing this? When he absorbed this little bit of heavenly thunder, his face twitched. It was obvious that he did not feel good. However, he endured it and continued to absorb the heavenly thunder around him. Just a normal ghost physique is not enough for me. I want to achieve the Dark Thunder ghost physique. It will definitely help my power reach another level. Lei Zhongjuan thought with great ambition. Yang Wu had forcefully withstood 2 waves of Dan tribulation, and a small part of his bones had turned purple. With this speed of bone tempering, he would have to experience a few more powerful heavenly thunder baptisms in order to completely temper all the bones in his body. However, this matter could not be rushed. Yang Wu did not have to form the heavenly thunder bone physique. He cared more about digging out his own potential. He had to temper it step by step. Only then would his physique become more perfect. If he rushed it, it would be counterproductive. The soul-cleansing, evil-suppressing pill was refined. Yang Wu gave 2 more pills to Shu Yujun and Yang Ba. He ordered them to take the antidote on the spot. He would protect them. White-haired demoness eyes flashed with light. She finally believed that Yang Wu could heal the scar on her face. Her heart lit up with hope. After Shu Yujun and Yang Ba took the 2 pills, the heart-devouring pill's poison was completely removed. The remaining demonic aura on their bodies was also cleansed. It also helped their souls sublimate by quite a bit. At this time, white-haired demoness could not help but say, "I also want those 2 pills." "You were also poisoned by the heart-devouring pill?" Yang Wu asked back. White-haired demoness nodded and said, "Yes, they wanted to use the heart-devouring pill to control me." "Then how did you live until now without the antidote?" Yang Wu asked curiously. The pain of the heart devouring, Yang Wu still remembered it clearly. Without the antidote, even a small saint would not be able to withstand it. White-haired demoness coldly replied, "I paid the price of my white hair to survive." Yang Wu shivered. He could clearly feel the cold resentment coming from white-haired demoness. This was her hatred towards the Xing clan. It was hard for him to imagine that white-haired demoness could endure the pain of the heart-devouring pill and still survive. Just how strong was this hatred? "For you." Yang Wu handed the 2 pills to white-haired demoness without any hesitation. This woman was already under his control, so he would help her to the end. He hoped that she would be truly grateful in the future. White-haired demoness impatiently swallowed the 2 pills, completely removing the heart-devouring pill from her body. Yang Wu sighed to himself. If I didn't have alchemy, it would not be easy to gain a foothold in this world. Many thanks to you, Little Hay. He did not know where Little Hay was now. Was she doing well? Chapter 676. After the demon disaster ended, the major families knew about the situation here one after another, but they didn't pay too much attention to it. To them, The people who were sent to the City of Redemption were all sinners, so it didn't matter if they died. The remaining people were either lucky or had outstanding life-saving means. A limited number of them were selected by each family to be taken away from the City of Redemption. As for the conflict between the Xing and Yang families, it was within their scope of understanding. Since ancient times, the Yang and Xing families were like fire and water and never got along well at all. In this battle, Yang Wu's performance was outstanding, but not many people remembered him in their hearts. Only a few people knew that there was a young man who appeared and turned the tide, stopping the evil spirit's calamity. They didn't know who this young man was, and they never thought of repaying him. The reason why he tried so hard to stop everything here was just to protect himself. Only the people of the Xing family quietly remembered that this young man was called Yang Wu. Yang Wu continuously refined the evil heart pill and spirit cleansing evil suppressing pill to help Shu Yujun, Yang Ba, and Whitehair Demonis detoxify the heart-devouring poison. The demonic aura on the latter two was purified, and the power in their bodies decreased a lot. However, they obviously felt that their power was pure, and their combat power was not much weaker than before. As long as they went to the outside world to cultivate for a few days, they could replenish the lost power in a short period of time. After doing all this, Yang Wu was finally ready to leave. Now that his grandfather had returned to the Yang family with Yang Jinghai, it was a big matter whether he could successfully acknowledge his ancestors. Although Yang Mingfa and Yang Jinghai helped in this matter, there were many internal problems in the Yang family. Who knew if someone would jump out to stop him? On this day, the sky was overcast with dark clouds, as if a heavy rain would fall at any time, giving off an extremely depressing feeling. It had been 5 days since Yang Jingtao came out of the City of Redemption. He had already obtained permission to live in the Yang family's outer court, and even the patriarch of the Yang family's outer court, Yang Gaxiao, could not make things difficult for him. The outer courtyard of the Yang clan occupied a vast area, as if it was a city within a city. Numerous houses and pavilions were built on the land, and they were arranged neatly in an ancient style. Bluestone alleys crisscrossed, and rockeries and pavilions could occasionally be seen. Small bridges were erected, and below them there was a trickle of water, and there were also fish playing in the water. Living in such a place, anyone's state of mind would become tranquil and comfortable, but Yang Jingtao felt out of place. His heart had been restless all this time. There had been no news of him being summoned from the inner court. It was very difficult for him to calm down until the names of their ancestors were recorded in the genealogy. He had read the will left behind by his ancestors. Their ancestor, Yang Baiqiang, had made a big mistake. According to the will, Yang Baiqiang was an outstanding heaven's pride and was one of the best among the younger generation of the War Clan realm. Later, for some unknown reason, he offended the Xianyuan family and was ordered to be executed by the Xianyuan family. In the end, the Yang clan suffered another heavy blow because of Yang Baiqiang. Their strength plummeted again, and Yang Baiqiang was finally killed. His bloodline was abolished, and they were banished to the mortal world, never to return to the transcendent realm. Yang Jingtao did not know what his ancestor, Yang Baiqiang, had done, but from what was written in the will, Yang Baiqiang was innocent. He did not do anything wrong to the Yang clan, nor did he deliberately offend the Xianyuan family. It was all a misunderstanding. Yang Jingtao was not clear about what had happened in the past. In his generation, he just wanted to fulfill his ancestors' last wish. If I can't stay here, maybe it's safer to let war go far away. Yang Jingtao thought to himself, his heart full of contradictions. He always felt that because of his stubbornness, he had harmed his grandson, Yang Wu. Suddenly, there was a loud noise. A few people quickly came to Yang Jingtao's door, knocked on the door, and asked him to come out. "Please follow us to the meeting room," the person said stiffly. Instantly, Yang Jingtao felt that something was wrong, but he still followed the other party to the meeting room. There were more than 10 people sitting in the meeting room. These people included the outer court patriarch, Yang Gaxiao, and Yang Jinghai, who had just come out of seclusion. Yang Jingtao did not recognize any of the others. The person sitting in the main seat was not Yang Xiao, nor was it Yang Jinghai. Instead, it was a half-closed clan elder. His status was obviously not ordinary. Otherwise, he would not be above the two of them. After Yang Jingtao arrived, everyone's gaze fell on him. He felt uncomfortable all over, but he still forced himself to bow to everyone. "You are Yang Baiqiang's descendant?" The clan elder sitting in the main seat suddenly opened his eyes and glared at Yang Jingtao. His aura was shocking, and his voice was mighty. It scared Yang Jingtao so much that his body trembled. Replying to Lord, "According to the records left behind by my ancestors, Yang Baiqiang is indeed my ancestor." Yang Jingtao respectfully replied, "A person who died 800 years ago could not be called an ancestor in a large force, but in the mortal world, it was enough to be called an ancestor. I didn't expect Yang Baiqiang's descendant to be able to live until now. It's really not easy. I heard that you want to return to the family records?" The clan elder sneered. Without waiting for Yang Jingtao to reply, Yang Jinghai discontentedly said, "Third elder, ninth uncle has already come to a conclusion. Do you still want to refute his opinion?" The clan elder in front of him was ranked third, Yang Seni. He was one of the important clan elder representatives of the Yang family's Azure Battle Chi branch. Now that the Black Tortoise Battle Chi branch had declined again and again, the Azure Battle Chi branch had become more and more powerful. They also had many powerful sacred elders. Moreover, the clan leader of the inner courtyard and the patriarch of the outer courtyard were all members of the Azure Battle Chi branch. The Black Tortoise Battle Chi branch had been pushed aside. I don't mean to refute his opinion, but letting the Sinner's Blood branch enter the family records is not a small matter. We have to be careful. Moreover, Yang Baiqiang's branch had committed too serious a crime, which was why they were kicked out of the Yang family and were not allowed to return to the transcendent world. Now that they have violated the clan orders, they deserve to be punished. For ninth uncle's sake, we will not pursue this matter. However, it is impossible for them to return to the family records. Yang Seni sneered. Suddenly, Yang Jingtao's face was filled with disappointment. His insistence all these years was wrong. The Yang family would never accept him. Even if he was redeemed, it would be useless. Third elder, your words are too harsh. According to the clan's rules, as long as they are able to redeem themselves, they can return to the Yang family. Yang Jinghai said, very dissatisfied. Although that is the case, they are not included. They have already been completely expelled. Yang Seni replied. He paused for a moment before continuing. I am now conveying the clan leader's intentions. Everyone can discuss it. If the majority feels that they should return to the Yang family, then I will abide by the principle of the minority obeying the majority. Everyone present was an elder of the Yang family. They were all in the dragon transformation realm. They had gathered here to discuss Yang Jingtao's matter. Originally, with Yang Mingfa's appearance, it would not be difficult to resolve the matter of the sinner's bloodline. However, the matter of Yang Jingtao's bloodline was too great. Even the current clan leader was biased against them. It was because of this that Yang Seni showed such an attitude. At this moment, Yang Jinghai slammed the table and stood up, shouting, Do you know that Yang Jingtao's grandson, Yang Wu, already possesses the power of the ancestral awakening bloodline? As long as he returns to our Yang family, there will definitely be a prodigy who will restore our Yang family's prestige in the future. As one of the 8 great battle clans, our bloodline is currently at a critical stage. If this continues, our Yang family will be finished in less than 100 years. What's the point of bickering over something that happened 800 years ago? Furthermore, who was in the right and who was in the wrong 800 years ago is still unclear. 500 years ago, the Xinyuan family also said that the matter has been completely overturned. Everyone, please be cautious. Cut the crap. Let's discuss this. Yang Seni said disdainfully. An elder of the Azure Battle Chi bloodline stood up and said, Those who have already been expelled do not belong to our Yang family. Since they have completed the redemption mission, let's just send them back to the mortal world. That's too light. Their bloodline power belongs to us. We should strip them of their bloodline power and send them back to the mortal world. The patriarch of the outer court, Yang Xiao, said coldly, our Yang family is already on the decline. We definitely cannot lose any geniuses. As long as they are loyal to the family, we should accept them. The elder of the Black Tortoise Battle Chi bloodline coldly snorted. Since the clan leader has already given the order, then let's do as he says. The bloodline power must remain. Our Yang family's bloodline cannot be leaked. Most of the people present stood on Yang Seni's side. Only a few people stood on Yang Jinghai's side. This made Yang Jinghai very angry. You selfish people, have you ever thought about our Yang family's crisis? One more genius means one more hope for us. This matter has already been decided by Ninth Uncle. Moreover, he is already prepared to ask great-grandmother to come out of seclusion. If you think you can withstand great-grandmother's anger, then go ahead and oppose it. Yang Jinghai loudly shouted. The Yang family's great-grandmother was the Yang family's stabilizing force. If it wasn't for her existence, then the Yang family would have already ceased to exist. After everyone heard Yang Jinghai's words, their excited expressions were restrained. Only Yang Seni still squinted his eyes and said, I have already said that this is an elders' assembly. The minority obeys the majority. Since everyone agrees with me, then I order Yang Baiqiang's descendants to be banished back to the mortal world, and their bloodline power will be stripped. You dare? Yang Jinghai stood up and released his aura. A mighty black tortoise appeared. That terrifying aura shrouded the entire assembly hall. He was truly angry. Forget it. I will not enter the Yang family. I am willing to give up my bloodline power. I hope you can let my grandson go. Chapter 677. Abolishing the bloodline. This was an extremely cruel thing to do to any Battle Clan member. Yang Jingtao had already realized that the internal strife in the Yang clan was more serious than he had imagined. Saints had already appeared, but the people below still didn't accept him. He was already in despair. Now, he only wanted to protect his grandson. For this, he was willing to give up his bloodline power. Before Yang Jinghai could react, Yang Jingtao had already abolished his own bloodline power. Bang bang. Suddenly, the bloodline power in Yang Jingtao's body kept exploding. Bloody holes appeared on his body, and streams of blue blood seeped out from his body. Bloodline power originated from blood. It was the inherited power of the clan. Once it was abolished, not only would this power disappear, it would also cause serious damage to the martial body. In an instant, Yang Jingtao became dispirited and became a bloody man. It was a tragic sight. Stop! Yang Jinghai shouted and attacked Yang Jingtao. From the color of Yang Jingtao's bloodline, it could be seen that Yang Jingtao's bloodline power was at least 40%, infinitely close to 50%. Such bloodline power was rare in the Yang clan. It would be a pity if it was abolished like this. Yang Jinghai had to stop Yang Jingtao from doing this, but Yang Seni didn't think so. He stopped Yang Jinghai. It's best that he is willing to abolish his own bloodline. Yang Seni stood in front of Yang Jinghai and smiled faintly. Get lost. Yang Jinghai was completely enraged. The people of the heavenly green Battle Chi lineage were too out of line. They actually watched as the Black Tortoise Battle Chi lineage was weakened. They even deliberately suppressed it so obviously. He couldn't take it anymore. Frightening Dragon Fist. Yang Jinghai didn't show any mercy. The Dragon Fist that contained extremely domineering power blasted towards Yang Seni. Yang Seni didn't expect Yang Jinghai to attack him. He hurriedly blocked, but he was too hasty and was sent flying by Yang Jinghai's punch. The meeting hall wasn't small, but how could it withstand the torment of a small saint? Yang Jinghai's aura was like the sea, scaring the surrounding people as if they were facing a great enemy. Everyone stood up. In this place, the most powerful person was not Yang Seni, but Yang Jinghai. If he was really angry, no one could stop him unless a saint came. Yang Jinghai didn't have the time to pay attention to Yang Seni. He appeared beside Yang Jingtao and directly hit Yang Jingtao's vital acupoints to stop Yang Jingtao's blood from flowing out. You don't have to do this. Yang Jinghai looked at Yang Jingtao, who had suddenly aged 10 years, and blamed himself. Both of them were of the same generation and were definitely cousins. Watching Yang Jingtao cripple his own bloodline, it was really hard for them to bear. He promised Yang Jingtao and Yang Wu that as long as they completed the redemption mission in the City of Redemption, he would help them return to their families. Now, he had broken his promise. I only hope that you can let my grandson go, even if I have to die, Yang Jingtao said weakly. His bloodline had almost been completely destroyed, and his realm had also been greatly affected. His vitality had been greatly weakened, and if he didn't have the art of reversal, he probably wouldn't be able to live for long. Bloodline was one of the source powers of life. Don't worry, with me around, Yang will be fine. You will definitely be able to return to your families. No one can stop you. Yang Jinghai responded with incomparable firmness. Yang Jinghai, what do you mean by this? Are you openly breaking the rules of the Elders' Council? Yang Seni looked at Yang Jinghai with a livid expression and shouted, The Elders' Council has been ruined by your bloodline. Do you think that our bloodline is easy to bully? Don't forget which bloodline our great-grandmother is from. When she gets angry, even the patriarch has to bow his head. Who do you think you are? Yang Jinghai scolded angrily. Yang Wu brought back news of Yang Taihe, which was a great contribution. The relationship between the Yang family's great-grandmother and Yang Taihe wasn't something that others knew. Once the great-grandmother came out of seclusion, the Azure Battle-Chi bloodline would definitely not dare to be presumptuous. This was Yang Jinghai's confidence. Yang Seni didn't know anything about Yang Taihe. The great-grandmother had been in seclusion for many years and no longer cared about worldly affairs. Unless the Yang family was in a life or death situation, she would definitely not appear again. She didn't have much time left. Yang Jinghai, it seems that you don't even put the patriarch in your eyes. Are you trying to rebel? Yang Seni criticized Yang Jinghai. Yang Seni, if you know what's good for you, then allow Yang Jingtao and the others to return to the family. Otherwise, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Yang Jinghai angrily glared at Yang Seni and shouted. At this time, Yang Gaxiao opened her mouth and said, Ninth Elder, this matter is still based on the rules of the Elders' Council. Since everyone doesn't want them to return, then this matter can no longer be discussed. The Elders' Council is not a child's game. Who's the child's game? Ninth Uncle has already agreed to their return. You still dare to obstruct here. Do you really think that with the Patriarch's protection, you can do whatever you want? The Yang family isn't the world of your bloodline. Yang Jinghai looked back at Yang Gaxiao and coldly said, Jinghai, your words are too much. You actually dare to criticize the Patriarch. Another elder indifferently said, Now that he's willing to cripple his own bloodline, let's drop this matter. Another elder said. Yang Jinghai didn't answer their words. Instead, he fed Yang Jingtao a healing pill and supported him as he said, Let's go. I'll bring you back to the family. Whoever dares to stop me will be my, Yang Jinghai's enemy. Yang Seni loudly shouted, Yang Jinghai, you're too impudent. Do you still put me in your eyes? Yang Jinghai looked at Yang Seni with contempt and said, Who do you think you are? Yang Seni angrily said, Very good. Men, throw that cripple out for me. Don't dirty our Yang family's territory. After pausing for a moment, he said, Whoever dares to stop you, kill them without mercy. Yang Seni's killing intent rose. He was determined to wipe out this matter here. He absolutely couldn't allow any accidents to happen. Who dares? Yang Jinghai looked around at the elders and loudly said, Every elder here had an extraordinary status in the family. Normally, there would be quite a bit of internal strife, but today was the first time it had been so intense. Put him down. This way, he still has a way to live. Yang Gaxiao calmly said. As the patriarch of the outer courtyard, Yang Gaxiao's status was extraordinary. His grandfather and the patriarch were blood-related brothers. Otherwise, the position of patriarch of the outer courtyard wouldn't have fallen onto his head. This was the outer courtyard. Yang Jinghai actually dared to ignore him as the patriarch. He was very displeased. Scram! Yang Jinghai reprimanded as he pulled Yang Jingtao outside. Leave him behind. An elder saw Yang Seni give him a meaningful glance and took the lead to grab Yang Jingtao. When he made his move, two other elders moved at the same time. They were prepared to join forces to suppress Yang Jinghai and snatch Yang Jingtao away. It seems that this ninth elder doesn't have any prestige in your eyes. Then I'll let you see my strength. Yang Jinghai muttered. He lifted Yang Jingtao with one hand and swept out with the other. A blue dragon roared as it charged forward. Roar! Yang Jinghai was known as the Sea Dragon King. His frightening dragon chi was extremely powerful. Combined with his black tortoise battle chi, he might not be invincible in the dragon transformation realm. But in the Yang family, no one was his match. The powerful, frightening dragon chi combined with the black tortoise battle chi formed an extremely terrifying attack that sent the 3 dragon transformation realm elders flying. At this time, Yang Seni seized the opportunity to launch a sneak attack on Yang Jinghai from behind. A pair of glowing green palms carried a surging aura as they ruthlessly slammed towards Yang Jinghai's back. The Yang family was not allowed to kill each other. This was an ironclad rule. However, these rules seem to have been completely forgotten at this moment. A thick and powerful dragon-scale armor appeared on Yang Jinghai's back, forcibly blocking Yang Seni's sneak attack. Bang! Yang Seni originally thought that this palm would explode Yang Jinghai, but Yang Jinghai was as steady as a rock. He wasn't sent flying at all. Instead, Yang Seni was pushed back a few steps. How is this possible? Yang Seni exclaimed. His strength was almost the same as Yang Jinghai's. Not only was he unable to injure Yang Jinghai, he was even pushed back by him. This was truly unbelievable. Yang Seni, open your dog eyes wide and see how strong I am, Yang Jinghai said with a proud look on his face. His majestic aura swept out in all directions. He kicked Yang Seni in a domineering manner. His foot was like a dragon claw that soared into the sky and rushed towards Yang Seni. Yang Seni clenched his fist and struck out. His palm emitted a crystalline power as it ruthlessly slammed into the foot. Bang! Yang Seni was heavily pushed back by the force of this kick, crashing into the conference hall. The conference hall was almost shattered by the two forces. Fortunately, there was a floating formation that forcefully blocked most of the two forces, preventing it from being completely destroyed. At the same time, Yang Jinghai rushed out like a dragon. The elders had no way of stopping him. They were intimidated by his powerful aura and didn't dare to stop him. Ninth Elder, you can't bring him back to the clan. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Yang Xiao said loudly. Bring it on if you have the ability. Yang Jinghai looked at Yang Xiao with disdain. Do you really think I can't make you stay? Raise the formation for me. Yang Xiao revealed a trace of a sinister smile as he shouted. You dare! Yang Jinghai shouted angrily. Suddenly, in the outer courtyard of the Yang clan, a series of crisscrossing formations rose up, enveloping the entire outer courtyard. This was a saint-level formation to protect the clan. Yang Jinghai's battle strength was strong enough, but he still felt great pressure in the face of this formation. Put it down. We won't take his life. We'll just expel him. Yang Xiao was the patriarch of the outer courtyard, so he could control this formation. At this moment, even if there was a saint present, he wouldn't be afraid. Yang Jinghai was just about to speak when Yang Jingtao spoke first. Put me down. I'm willing to return to the mortal world. After pausing for a moment, he knelt down and kowtowed to the elders present. I only hope that you won't make things difficult for my grandson. Give him a way out. I beg of you. Yang Jingtao had completely seen through it. Ancestral teachings and wishes weren't as important as his grandson's safety. You're very tactful. Don't worry, we won't take his life. At most, we'll just cripple his bloodline. Yang Xiao sneered. Suddenly, a furious voice rang out. Bastard, why don't you try and cripple my bloodline? Chapter 678. Who would have thought that someone would dare to point at the Yang family's outer court patriarch and call him a beast in the Yang family's territory? This person was Yang Wu, who came out of the City of Redemption. He first asked his grandfather to come out of the City of Redemption, hoping that Yang Mingfa and Yang Jinghai could successfully complete the task of his grandfather's return to the family. Unexpectedly, as soon as he came out of the City of Redemption, he saw his grandfather covered in blood. His breath was weak and his vitality was completely gone. It was obvious that he was seriously injured. Furthermore, he was still kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to these people in front of him. It was obvious that he had been humiliated. How could he not be angry? Originally, he had provided information about Yang Taihe, which attracted the attention of Yang Mingfa and Yang Jingfa. He had also completed the task in the City of Redemption. Returning to the Yang family should have been smooth. Who knew that he would see such a scene as soon as he came out? The Yang family really disappointed him. Yang Wu! Yang Jinghai exclaimed when he saw Yang Wu, who suddenly appeared. He did not handle the task given by Yang Wu properly. Now that Yang Wu had appeared, he felt extremely guilty. The reason why Yang Wu appeared here was because of the spatial gate. The spatial gate in the City of Redemption was connected to the outer court of the Yang family. Yang Wu and his party came out of the City of Redemption and came here. Little bastard, you came at the right time. I will destroy your bloodline and send you all back to the mortal world. Yang Gexiao shouted after seeing Yang Wu. How dare you scold my lord? Yang Ba shouted as he dashed over from behind. Although Yang Ba's strength had not reached the Dragon Transformation Realm, he was not afraid of powerhouses in the Dragon Transformation Realm. Lei Zhongjuan and white-haired Demonis appeared one after another beside Yang Wu. This force was not weak. Very well. No matter who you are, you will be destroyed together today. Yang Gexiao said confidently after activating the sacred array. At this moment, Yang Seni's gaze fell on the white-haired Demonis, and he exclaimed, White-haired Demonis. How could this Demonis leave the City of Redemption? Damn it, who did it? Who didn't know about the white-haired Demonis? She had once offended a noble and was banished to the City of Redemption, never to leave. Now that someone had actually brought her out, even Yang Seni couldn't remain calm. This was a complete disaster. Grandpa, I'll take you home. Yang Wu took a deep breath and walked towards Yang Jingtao. I wasn't able to take you down last time. I won't give you another chance this time. Yang Gexiao said as she stretched out her palm towards Yang Wu. In an instant, her cyan palm reached towards Yang Wu's throat. Without waiting for Yang Wu to make a move, Lei Zhongjuan swept out and easily shattered Yang Gexiao's cyan palm. Then, he countered with a palm. His speed was so fast that even Yang Gexiao couldn't react in time. She was hit in the chest, and her body was sent flying. How dare you injure our Yang family's outer court patriarch? Take them down. The Yang family's elders shouted. Don't move. He is Yang Wu, someone that ninth uncle wants to protect. If you touch him, you're not giving ninth uncle face. Yang Jinghai stopped them. Although Yang Wu's side was strong, it seemed that they were not qualified to behave atrociously here. Kill them and capture the white-haired Demonis. She must not be allowed to leave this place. Otherwise, the Xing family will destroy us at all costs. Yang Seni shouted. In the next moment, nearly 10 Dragon Transformation Realm Elders of the Yang family attacked. That mighty momentum was incomparably frightening. The Dragon Transformation Realm, also known as the Minor Saint Realm, possessed the ability to control a trace of space Xian Qi and was extremely powerful. Almost 10 Dragon Transformation Realm Elders attacked, causing the Yang family to tremble. Everyone in the Yang family was frightened, as if they were facing a great enemy. Lei Zhongjuan and white-haired Demonis joined hands to block the attacks of these elders. Both of them were peak minor saints. In this place, only Yang Jinghai and Yang Seni were at the same level as them. As long as the two of them didn't attack, the attacks of the others wouldn't be a threat to them. Two peak minor saints. Yang Seni lost his voice and shouted, Gexiao, if you are not dead yet, quickly activate the formation to kill them. Kill! Yang Gexiao responded. He roared and activated the power of the Saint Formation to suppress Lei, Zhongjuan, and white-haired Demonis. Asterisk puff. Asterisk, asterisk puff. Asterisk as expected of a Saint Formation. Its power was incomparably strong. When the two Saint Formations' power fell, Lei Zhongjuan and white-haired Demonis were sent flying while coughing out blood. Ha! How dare you go against our Yang family? You will all die a horrible death. Yang Gexiao laughed wildly. Yang Gexiao, stop. If you don't stop, I will activate the Imperial Edict. Yang Jinghai shouted. Ninth Elder, are you really going to side with outsiders? Yang Guxiao wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and asked. It's not that I'm siding with outsiders. It's just that you guys don't put ninth uncle in your heart. Yang Jinghai replied. Yang Jinghai, don't argue anymore. Who asked them to bring white-haired demoness out? This person must die. Even if ninth uncle is here, I believe he won't dare to say anything. Yang Seni added. I'm the one who brought her out. If you have the ability, then come at me. Yang Wu said indifferently. Very good. Since you have the guts to admit it, then kill yourself here. Otherwise, when we catch you, we will send you to the Xing family. You will die even more miserably. Yang Seni looked at Yang Wu and said. Before Yang Wu could reply, Yang Jingtao once again knelt on the ground and repeatedly kowtowed. Sir, please spare my grandson's life. I am willing to die for him. Please spare him. Bang bang. Yang Jingtao continuously kowtowed. He did not dare to use any defensive power. His forehead was bleeding from a kowtow. His grandson was his lifeblood. He was willing to pay with his life. The Saint formation had already been activated. He did not think that Yang Wu still had a chance to escape. Only by begging would he have a chance to live. Grandfather, get up. We don't need to beg them. Yang Wu quickly rushed over and was about to help his grandfather up, who knew that Yang Guxiao would point his finger and a force would fall from the sky. This force fell in front of Yang Wu and Yang Jingtao, separating them. Yang Guxiao laughed sinisterly. Yang Wu, kneel down. Otherwise, I will kill your grandfather first and then cripple you. I want to see if you two are willing to save each other at all costs. Yang Guxiao, you are really despicable. Yang Jinghai could not stand it anymore. He shouted angrily and once again threw a powerful frightened dragon fist at Yang Guxiao. He really could not bear to see Yang Guxiao acting like this. Ninth Elder, quiet down. I am in charge of the outer court. Yang Guxiao sneered. With a wave of his hand, the power of the Saint formation fell on Yang Jinghai and forced him back. If Yang Jinghai was not strong enough, the power of the Saint formation would have been enough to seriously injure him. Imperial Edict. Yang Jinghai did not hesitate and directly tore the power of the Imperial Edict. Stop him! Yang Seni hurriedly shouted. Without needing Yang Seni to say anything, Yang Guxiao had already activated the power of the Saint formation to seal the area. Even if Yang Jinghai tore the Imperial Edict, the power of the Saints would be completely isolated. This was the strength of the Yang family's protective formation. Yang Guxiao, do you really want to fight with me? Yang Jinghai's lungs were about to explode from anger. Ninth Elder, calm down. After I deal with this matter, I will personally apologize to you. Yang Guxiao said with a trace of contempt. Today's matter was related to the Patriarch. They had to do their best to cripple the two people in front of them. Even if they were punished afterwards, the Patriarch would bear the responsibility. Little bastard, kneel down. Otherwise, I will break your grandfather's bones and make him suffer a fate worse than death. Yang Guxiao threatened Yang Wu. Lord, please let my grandson go. I am willing to kill myself here. I can also make him never come near the Yang family. Please spare his life. Yang Jingtao begged Yang Guxiao. Grandpa, don't beg him anymore. I will kill him today. Yang Wu couldn't bear it anymore. He roared and took out the demon taming order. He chanted the heavenly command, activating the will of the demon tamers. All of a sudden, the silhouettes of two demon tamers emerged. Their majestic chi was no weaker than a peak minor saint. Not enough. I, as the palace master, awaken all of you. Yang Wu knew that this matter wouldn't end well. After he roared, he spat out a mouthful of blood towards the demon taming order. He also channeled his powerful mental force into the demon taming order, unsealing the power of the demon taming order. Yang Wu was the owner of the demon taming order. The only reason he had the demon taming order was because his strength was limited. Therefore, he couldn't unleash the power of the demon taming order. Now, he didn't hesitate to consume his blood essence and powerful mental force. When Yang Wu's essence blood fell into the demon taming order, the third demon tamer came out. He was carrying a serrated blade. If the sharp serrated blade landed on any demon beast, it would leave a terrible wound on its body. The fourth demon tamer quickly appeared. He was carrying a piercing spear. The spear seemed to contain the blood essence and soul of countless demon beasts. It was unknown how many demon beasts and evil devils he had killed. The fifth demon tamer appeared soon after. He was holding a blood cloak weapon, which seemed to be releasing a boundless amount of blood chi. The five demon tamers appeared. Each of them was releasing different evil chi. Their strength rose sharply. They seemed to have the opportunity to break through to the saint realm. Were these things? Suppress all of them. Yang Xiao realized that the situation wasn't good. He roared and activated the power of the saint formation to destroy the demon tamers. Wake up completely for me. Yang Wu raised his head and looked at the five demon tamers. He let out a heavenly command. The path flower in the divine court swayed. The will of the war spirit was fully released, pouring into the five demon tamers. Two saint weapons flew out. They were the executioner's knife and the soul shackle. These were torture tools used by demon tamers when they were alive. The five demon tamers immediately sensed the appearance of the punishment soldiers. They looked at them at the same time. An inexplicable power appeared in their eyes. It was as if they had seen an old friend that they hadn't seen in a long time. It stimulated their emotions. Their willpower silently reached the saint realm. It formed a terrifying storm of saint chi, forcefully blocking the power of the matrix. Kill him, Yang Wu shouted, pointing at Yang Xiao with the demon taming order in his hand. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. Chapter 679. At this moment, Yang Wu looked extremely ferocious. He didn't know when was the last time he was this mad. Even if Yang Ba died for him, he wouldn't be this angry. The one kneeling and begging for mercy was his own grandfather. Before this, his grandfather had already been humiliated outside the Yang family. Now, not only were those people not punished, they even forced his grandfather to cripple his own bloodline power and wanted to cripple him as well. This was too much. The wills of the five demon tamers had all stepped into the saint realm. The storm of saint chi forcibly blocked the power of the saint formation. The power of the two saint weapons released an evil and awe-inspiring power, forcing everyone present to show fear. If it was only a single strand of saint will, the power of the saint array would definitely be able to erase it. However, there were 5 strands of saint will here, and the saint weapons they had used when they were alive had appeared, greatly increasing their strength. Even a saint array would not be able to suppress them. If these saint wills were outside the formation, they would be able to block it. However, they were inside the formation. Other than the holy formation's power, there was no way they could form enough defense to block the 5 saint wills. The 5 demon tamers looked at Yang Xiao. The executioner's blade cut through the space and slashed at Yang Xiao. Activate the holy formation's power. Yang Xiao revealed a look of panic and shouted. He attracted a large amount of the formation's power and clashed with the executioner's blade's power. Boom! The clash of saint powers was earth-shattering. The nearby houses were instantly shaken to the point of collapse. Everyone frantically retreated. Yang Xiao had the help of the holy formation. The executioner's blade couldn't do anything to him for a while. He laughed wildly. No one can hurt me here. When your borrowed power disappears, I'll send you all on your way. Yang Wu looked at the 5 demon tamers calmly and said, Is this all the power of the demon tamer's hall can do? The 5 demon tamers felt the hall master's contempt. They didn't dare to be careless. They threw out the soul hook chains at Yang Xiao. The soul hook chains specialized in hooking people's souls. It had even hooked saint souls before. Yang Xiao wasn't even a saint. Even with the help of the holy formation, his soul couldn't escape the soul hook chain's grasp. His soul was hooked out. The soul hook chain was a soul saint weapon. It possessed a strange power. Kill! The 5 Yao tamers let out a sound that seemed to come from ancient times, and the executioner's blade chopped down again. Yang Xiao's soul was hooked out. His body had lost its willpower, and the power of the holy array was no longer protecting him. He was beheaded by the beheading blade. When a head fell to the ground, the elders of the Yang family were all shocked. Everything had happened in the blink of an eye. Who would have thought that Yang Xiao who was controlling the holy array, would be killed by this young man. You are in big trouble. You actually dared to kill our Yang clan's outer courtyard patriarch. Even if you ascend to the heavens or descend to the earth, only death awaits you. An elder who was on good terms with Yang Gaxiao trembled as he spoke. Yang Wu looked at him and said coldly, "Those who insult my grandfather deserve to die." The executioner's blade changed direction and slashed down at the elder. Puff! That elder didn't have time to escape and was cut into two halves on the spot. The blood that spilled out was a ghastly sight. Two Dragon Transformation Realm cultivators had died in the blink of an eye. This was definitely the Yang family's worst loss in recent years. The Dragon Transformation Realm cultivators were the reserves of a saint's power. They already belonged to the elite forces of any faction. The death of any one of them was a great loss. Yang Wu, that's enough. Yang Jinghai was shocked by Yang Wu's killing methods and hurriedly tried to dissuade Yang Wu. Yang Wu coldly glanced at Yang Jinghai and didn't say anything. In his eyes, Yang Jinghai was also his enemy. He walked over to help his grandfather up and said, "Grandfather, let's leave this place." None of the elders of the Yang family dared to speak carelessly. They felt extremely sullen in their hearts. The Yang family had actually been forced into such a state by a young man. This was truly a great loss of face. Yang Seni really wanted to scold Yang Wu and even wanted to kill Yang Wu. However, when he saw the 5 demon tamers and the 2 saint weapons, he swallowed his saliva and didn't dare to say a word. Suddenly, a strong wind blew in the sky above the Yang family's courtyard. A green light flashed as if it had appeared out of thin air. The green light faintly revealed a slender figure. This was a Yang family saint named Yang Qingyuan. His status wasn't lower than Yang Mingfa's, and he was the 10th elder sage. "Who dares to cause trouble in my Yang family?" Yang Qingyuan faintly said as he stretched out his palm and slapped towards the demon tamer's wills. With his eyesight, he could sense that the demon tamer's wills had all reached the saint realm. However, they were only wills, and there was still a huge gap between them and true saint force. The 5 demon tamers had powerful battle instincts and simultaneously controlled the executioner's blade and soul shackle to attack Yang Qingyuan. The power of 5 saint wills and 2 saint weapons could completely close the gap between them and Yang Qingyuan. The executioner's blade beheaded the head, while the soul shackle hooked the soul. The 2 saint weapons attacked Yang Qingyuan from different directions. Even Yang Qingyuan was shocked. He continuously attacked, and 2 saint palms of azure crystal slammed into the 2 saint weapons like storm. Rumble, rumble. The destructive power of a battle between saints was too terrifying. If not for the Yang family saint formation, this place would have been destroyed. The people in the Yang family's courtyard were scared out of their wits. Who is it that dares to go against our Yang family? They really don't know the meaning of death. Could it be that a saint-level enemy has invaded? This destructive power is too terrifying. Even my legs are trembling. Isn't the Elder Conference still ongoing? Where are the elders? Don't talk nonsense here. The Elder Sage has made his move. No matter who it is, they will be captured and killed. At this moment, Yang Wu carried his grandfather on his back and held the demon taming order in his hand. He shouted to his people, "Come with me." Yang Wu didn't give up on Shu Yujun, Yang Ba, Lei Zongjuan, and White-Hair Demoness. He had to take them with him. As for the others who had returned earlier, he believed that the Yang family wouldn't dare to mess around. The 5 heroes of the Proud Sword were all extraordinary. If the Yang family really wanted to deal with them, they would have to think twice. The Demon Taming Order released a powerful defensive power that enveloped them, and they quickly flew out of the Yang family. "How dare you behave so atrociously in my Yang family? Where do you think you are going?" Yang Qingyuan wasn't someone to be trifled with. While dealing with the 5 demon tamers, he was still able to multitask. When he sensed that Yang Wu and the others were about to leave, he summoned a power from the sky. It was like a bolt of azure lightning that struck the demon taming order. Bang! Under the terrifying power, the demon taming order fell from the sky. Yang Wu and the others were all affected. Blood spurted from their mouths, as they all fell to the ground. They couldn't continue fleeing. If it weren't for the demon taming order, they would have all been killed by Yang Qingyuan's attack. Damn it! Activate the demon taming order at full power. Yang Wu angrily roared. He spat another mouthful of essence blood onto the demon taming order. The demon taming order turned into a huge medallion. Countless monsters and demons howled in grief. These were all monsters and demons that had been slaughtered and tamed. The aura they emitted was extremely terrifying. It formed a holy, baleful aura that enveloped Yang Qingyuan. Even though Yang Qingyuan was a saint, he still felt extremely terrified in the face of this holy, baleful aura. It was as if he could see countless saint-level monsters and demons being slaughtered. The bloody scene was extremely horrifying. The 5 demon tamers' wills became more and more solid. They controlled 2 saint weapons at the same time and roared, "Behead! Grappling hook!" The 2 saint weapons blossomed with boundless brilliance. They carried an even more terrifying power as they attacked Yang Qingyuan. Yang Qingyuan didn't dare to hold back anymore. He formed a seal with both hands, and a bamboo forest seemed to form behind him. Boundless azure battle aura rose steadily. He slapped out with both palms. The air in all directions was like a tidal wave. The domineering power almost cracked the Yang clan's array. Myriad bamboo, windward palm. The full power of a first-grade Starmark realm cultivator caused a phenomenon of myriad bamboo swaying in the wind. It was a spectacular scene. The holy, baleful aura was shattered by the myriad bamboo attacks. The 2 saint weapons were also forced to retreat. However, the power of the saint weapons still injured Yang Qingyuan. His palm was split by the blade, and his forehead was pierced by the soul grappling hook. Even with the Starmark battle armor, he still couldn't block the full power of the demon taming order. Lei Zhongjuan used the soul-suppressing gourd to protect everyone. Yang Wu's aura was at its lowest point. He urged Lei Zhongjuan with difficulty. Lei Zhongjuan held the soul-suppressing gourd and enveloped Yang Wu, Yang Jingtao, Yang Ba, Shu Yujun, and the white-haired demoness as they fled at full speed. The soul-suppressing gourd was a saint weapon. Its speed was very fast. It quickly broke through the Yang clan's array and wanted to take everyone away. Yang Wu didn't have the time to worry about the 2 torture tools, the beheading knife and the soul grappling hook. Without the demon taming order, it would be difficult for others to use them. I will definitely have my revenge in the future. Yang Wu swore in his heart. Just when he thought he could escape, Yang Wu stretched out a palm. It was as if the entire world was under his control. He directly bound the space and prevented the soul-suppressing gourd from taking Yang Wu and the others away. "If I let you escape, where will I put my old face?" Yang Qingyuan said coldly. He gathered the power in his palm and forcefully pulled Yang Wu and the others back. He has so many trump cards at such a young age. This kid must have a great opportunity. I have to take all of these things. Yang Qingyuan thought to himself. Just as Yang Wu and the others were pulled back, Yang Jinghai shouted, "Saint Elder Qingyuan showed mercy. If you kill them, great-grandmother will definitely not let you have an easy time." Yang Jinghai, it seems like you don't put this saint in your eyes. You actually used great-grandmother to threaten this saint. Yang Qingyuan looked down at Yang Jinghai and said coldly, "Jinghai doesn't dare, but 9th uncle ordered me to help them return to their clan. Saint Elder Qingyuan, please wait for 9th uncle to come out before making a decision," Yang Jinghai said. He was stalling for time for Yang Wu and the others. He believed that the saints of the inner court had already sensed the fluctuations here. He would wait for the saints to arrive before making a decision. This saint can make a decision now. Yang Qingyuan sensed Yang Jinghai's thoughts and sneered. He clenched his hand and was ready to crush Yang Wu and the others into a pool of blood. "We were born from the same root. Why are you so anxious to kill each other?" Chapter 680. This was a very old voice, as if it came from an ancient time and space. When it fell into the ears of anyone who heard it, it was like a graveyard drum and mourning bell that woke them up. At some point in time, an old woman had appeared in the Yang family. Her hair was completely white, and her wrinkles were as old as tree bark. Her body was bent over, and there was a rotten smell coming from her body. She held a walking stick in her hand, and it was as if a gust of wind could blow her old body away. Beside the old woman were a few men with towering auras. All of them were saints of the Yang clan. Yang Qing originally wanted to crush Yang Wu and the others to death. But after the old woman's voice sounded, his strength disappeared into thin air and was quickly replaced by fear. "Greetings, great-grandmother." In the next moment, Yang Qing Yuan knelt on the ground. Apart from him, all the other members of the Yang family knelt down. "Greetings, great-grandmother." Everyone bowed respectfully, their eyes filled with reverence. The reason the Yang clan was able to survive until now was because of this seemingly weak old woman, allowing them to maintain their position as one of the 8 great battle clans. Once this great-grandmother passed away, no one would be able to replace her position, and the 8 great battle clans would quickly become the 7 great battle clans. Yang Wu can be saved. Yang Jinghai finally breathed a sigh of relief. This great-grandmother had come out of seclusion because Yang Mingfa had spared no expense to invite her out. If it was just to let Yang Wu and the others return to the Yang clan, it wouldn't be worth disturbing this great-grandmother. However, if it was for Yang Teha, it was necessary. Damn it, how could Yang Mingfa invite great-grandmother out? Yang Qing Yuan cursed in his heart. Yang Wu and the others didn't dare to act rashly. Now that the great-grandmother of the Yang clan had appeared, they would die if they acted rashly. Yang Wu held the demon-taming token tightly, not daring to relax for even a moment. If he was forced into a corner, he didn't mind detonating the demon-taming token. If it really came to that, everyone in the Yang clan's outer court would be buried with him. To think that the Yang clan would be ruined by you all. This old woman is truly ashamed to face the ancestors of the Yang clan. Great-grandmother sighed with a trace of worry. "Please punish us, great-grandmother." The saints behind the Yang clan lowered their heads and admitted their mistakes. "Forget it. It's not only because of you that the Yang family has fallen to this state." The Yang family's great-grandmother waved her hand. Then she asked Yang Wu, "Who is Yang Wu?" Yang Mingfa hurriedly pointed at Yang Wu, who was not far away, and said, "That child is Yang Wu." In the next moment, the Yang family's great-grandmother looked at Yang Wu. Yang Wu immediately shivered. He felt as if he was naked in front of this grandmother. He had nothing to hide. "Yang Wu, hurry up and come greet your great-grandmother." Yang Wu called out to Yang Mingfa. Yang Wu did not reply to Yang Mingfa. His eyes were still filled with hostility. Even though his strength was low, he would definitely not give in easily. "Yang Wu, what are you waiting for? Don't you want to return to the Yang family?" If great-grandmother nods, no one dares to say a word. Yang Jinghai urged from the side. "You all want to kill me and my grandfather." Yang Wu replied. His attitude was very clear. He did not want to return to the Yang clan. One day, he would be above the Yang clan and trample them under his feet. Let's see if they still dared to be arrogant towards him. Yang Mingfa took the opportunity to make things difficult. He shouted at Yang Jinghai. "Jinghai, didn't I tell you to arrange for Yang Jingtao and Yang Wu to return to the clan? They have already completed the redemption mission. Why do we still want to kill them? Is it because my 9th uncle's words no longer hold any weight?" Yang Mingfa naturally understood that none of this was done by Yang Jinghai. He was scolding Yang Jinghai for those who had chased Yang Wu just now. However, no matter how much Yang Jingtao begged them, they still wanted to cripple Yang Wu. Even though I strongly opposed it, and even requested an imperial edict, it was still blocked by Yang Wu using the courtyard's holy array. Yang Wu was forced to use all kinds of trump cards to protect himself and accidentally killed his own family members. Now, they are being stopped by Qingyuan Divine Elder. I don't understand what kind of heinous crime they have committed to force them to such a state. Yang Wu is someone who is infinitely close to 50% of his bloodline. If he is crippled, it will be a great loss to our Yang clan. Yang Wu also has the atavistic bloodline. May I ask why Qingyuan Divine Elder wants to kill him? Could it be that you want to force our black tortoise bloodline to extinction? Yang Jinghai loudly questioned. Immediately after, he kowtowed to his great-grandmother and said, Great-grandmother, please uphold justice. The Azure bloodline wants to destroy our Yang clan. Yang Jinghai threw caution to the wind. Even if the Yang clan head was from the Azure bloodline, he still had to say all the words in his heart. Otherwise, their Black Tortoise bloodline's prodigies would become fewer and fewer, and they would be suppressed even more. It wouldn't be long before only the Azure bloodline was left in the Yang clan. Don't speak nonsense. They are originally from the Sinner's bloodline. They committed a heinous crime and were expelled from the clan, never to return to the transcendent world. This is a punishment that was set long ago. What is wrong with our elders banishing them again? Great-grandmother, please investigate. Yang Sini hurriedly explained. Yang Qingyan replied, Great-grandmother, I am not very clear about this matter. When I rushed over, I found that someone was killing our Yang clan's people, so I took action to capture them. Another Azure bloodline elder said, he killed the outer court patriarch Yang Gaxiao and the 15th elder. This is a heinous crime. Great-grandmother, please issue a decree to execute them. Immediately after, a few more people began to accuse Yang Wu of committing murder and challenging the dignity of the Yang clan. At this time, if they did not push all the blame onto Yang Wu, what awaited them would not be good. Yang Mingfa and Yang Jinghai were quite angry. These people really knew how to play the blame game. However, it was an indisputable fact that Yang Wu had killed Yang Gaxiao and another elder. If this matter was not resolved properly, they would not be able to keep their lives. Behind the Yang clan's great-grandmother, a saint had a complicated expression on his face. He cursed in his heart. You can't even resolve such a small matter. What piece of trash. This person had a dignified appearance and extraordinary might. He had an aura of a high position. He was the Yang clan's patriarch, Yang Qingxing. If they hadn't forced Yang Wu, how could Yang Wu have killed them? Yang Wu is only in the heavenly fish realm. Yang Jinghai roared. Previously, he had put Yang Wu in the City of Redemption with the intention of testing Yang Wu. He did not intend to send Yang Wu to his death. After understanding the specific situation of Yang Wu, he naturally wanted Yang Wu to return to the Yang clan. Moreover, Yang Wu belonged to the Black Tortoise bloodline. He absolutely did not want Yang Wu to die young. Everything from 800 years ago was the past. It was more realistic to cherish the peerless genius in front of him. The Yang clan had been in decline for too long. They needed more geniuses with powerful bloodlines to have hope. As the #1 expert of the younger generation of the Yang clan, Yang Jinghai shouldered such a mission. He also had the identity of a patriarch candidate. Originally, it was not difficult for him to smoothly break through the first-level celestial pattern realm and become a saint to seize the position of patriarch. However, the Azure bloodline had gone too far. They had made it clear that they were against him and forced him to make mistakes. If today's matter was not resolved, his identity as a patriarch candidate would be removed. However, if he could protect Yang Wu, his identity as a patriarch candidate would be removed. A young man with ancestral bloodline, a heavenly alchemist, and a monstrous genius with various saint-level trump cards was worthy of his protection. She beckoned to Yang Wu and said, Child, come over and let Grandma take a look at you. The voice of the Yang clan's great-grandmother was very kind, as if a grandmother was calling her grandson. Yang Wu actually walked towards her involuntarily. Wu! Yang Jingtao could not help but call out. Yang Wu did not seem to hear his voice. He continued to walk towards the Yang clan's great-grandmother and soon arrived in front of her. Yang Wu knelt down on one knee and greeted, Greetings, Grandma. The Yang clan's great-grandmother gently stroked Yang Wu's head and said kindly, Good child, good child. I haven't seen such a spirited child in a long time. You are the blessing of my Yang clan. Yang Qingyuan, Yang Seni, and the others' minds instantly went blank. The Yang clan's great-grandmother's words meant that Yang Wu's return to the Yang clan was already set in stone. Even the patriarch could not disobey her. Grandma, I'm not a member of your Yang clan, Yang Wu said with clear eyes. He was summoned here, but it did not mean that he was controlled by the Yang clan's great-grandmother. On the contrary, he came here willingly. This great-grandmother's status was extraordinary, and he had no reason to refuse. Yang Wu, don't be presumptuous, Yang Mingfa reprimanded. The Yang clan's great-grandmother smiled and said, "Haha, child, I know you are angry, but it doesn't matter. Grandma will vent your anger for you." The next moment, her tone became fierce, and she shouted, "Those who oppose this child's return to the Yang clan, cripple one of your arms and be punished to guard the world of battles for 10 years. In an instant, Yang Qingyan, Yang Seni, and the others' faces became incomparably pale. The great-grandmother had only appeared 800 years ago when the Xin Yuan clan made a move. After that, she had been in seclusion. No one knew that this great-grandmother had once been a decisive person. Now, this great-grandmother was angry again. She was actually siding with the youth of the sinner's bloodline. It was really inconceivable. Hurry up and cripple one of your arms. Do you want to force me to do it personally? Yang Qingxing, the patriarch of the Yang clan, said sternly. Yes, great-grandmother. Thank you for the punishment. Yang Seni and the others did not dare to delay. They all severed one of their arms and left dejectedly. The 10 Dragon Transformation Realm Elders were now one-armed people. Yang Qingyuan did not cripple himself. He felt that he would not be punished. After all, he had done it to protect the Yang clan's outer court. Just as he was feeling lucky, a force suddenly descended upon him, and one of his arms disappeared without a trace. Go and guard the world of battles. Chapter 681. There were very few saints in the Yang family who were at the Star Rune Realm. Even if they were only at the level 1 Star Rune Realm, they were still considered important figures in the family. Yang Qingyuan relied on his status as the elder brother of the patriarch, Yang Qingxing. But now, not only did he lose an arm, he was also sent to guard the battle realm. His fate was too miserable. Yang Qingyan was not convinced, but in front of his great-grandmother, he did not even dare to fart. He silently left. No one else dared to say a word, even the patriarch. Child, are you appeased now? Yang family's great-grandmother asked Yang Wu. Yang Wu did not dare to be unreasonable and quickly replied, Grandmother is wise. As long as you're satisfied. It has been 800 years. You have suffered. From now on, you can return to the Yang family, the great-grandmother said. What else could Yang Wu say? Most of the anger in his heart had already been vented, and with such a venerable old granny speaking up for him, he hurriedly agreed and said, I will listen to great-grandmother's instructions. Good child. Now you can take grandmother to see Taihe. The great-grandmother said with a trace of imperceptible sharpness. Yang Taihe was the peerless genius of the Yang family. He was once tricked by the Xing family and the Amei family. The Yang family thought that he had fallen. The rapid decline of the Yang family in the past few thousand years was directly related to Yang Taihe's disappearance. There was also the incident 800 years ago. The impact was not small. It could be said that it was one disaster after another. Now, the most important thing was to welcome Yang Taihe back. As long as he returned, he might be able to help the Yang family rebuild. As for the child in front of her, he was indeed not bad. The aura of atavism was very obvious. Perhaps he could be nurtured into the next Yang Taihe. Great-grandmother was wise and far-sighted. As for those who were crippled, so be it. Over the years, the Azure Battle Chi had crossed the line. It was time to punish them. Yes, grandmother. Yang Wu had no reason to refuse. Perhaps this great-grandmother was giving him face because of Yang Taihe. With the appearance of the great-grandmother, the storm was completely calmed. Yang Jingtao, Shu Yujun, Yang Ba, and the others were settled down by Yang Jinghai. Only Yang Wu followed his grandmother and the other sages to Grave Fisher City. These saints were incomparably arrogant and disdained to enter the spatial gate. One of the sacred elders took out a flying shuttle. This was a space aircraft and belonged to the ranks of sacred artifacts. The flying shuttle was like a disc. It didn't look big, but inside it was a space of its own. It could easily carry thousands of people. Great-grandmother, the 8 sages, and Yang Wu entered the shuttle and flew towards Grave Fisher City. The speed of the shuttles was many times faster than the airships and battleships. They entered the space at an extreme speed, and nothing could stop them. Yang Wu curiously sized up the interior of the flying shuttle and said in his heart, "The methods of the saints are unpredictable." The Yang family's great-grandmother seemed to have not spoken for a long time. She continuously asked Yang Wu interesting questions such as how old he was, whether he had a cultivation partner, what his hobbies were, and so on. Yang Wu answered obediently, not daring to show any dissatisfaction. Furthermore, he felt that this great-grandmother was also very cute, much better than the rest of the Yang family. "Child, you're only 20 years old. It is not easy for you to cultivate to the heavenly fish realm in a place like the mortal realm where resources are scarce. I presume that you have also obtained some opportunities. In the future, you must not be righteous. Sometimes being able to bow and submit is what a real man should do." Great-grandmother reminded him. Yang Wu bowed slightly and replied, "Thank you for your teachings, grandmother." Yang Wu will remember it in his heart. "And I see that your forehead is full of spirit, and you are full of spirit. In the future, you will definitely become someone great. I hope that you will not complain about the family. We are all of the same bloodline, so even if there are some disputes, it is inevitable. Our Yang family has always been united, and we must continue to be united in the future. Otherwise, if we go against the teachings of our ancestors, the Yang family will definitely be eliminated. I know that you do not have much of a sense of belonging to the family, but this is not important. When you return to the family, I will let you enter the ancestral blood pool to increase your bloodline. Grandmother will give you some pointers, and I will definitely help you become not inferior to any of the monsters of the battle race. My Yang family son will definitely be able to revive the glory of the ancient times." When the 8 saints heard the endless conversation between great-grandmother and Yang Wu, their eyes were wide open. They thought to themselves, could it be that great-grandmother has been in seclusion for too long and has become a chatterbox? These saints only dared to think this in their hearts, but they did not dare to say it out loud. Unknowingly, the flying shuttle had arrived at Grave Split City. Yang Qing respectfully said to great-grandmother, "Great-grandmother, we have arrived at Grave Split City. It's good that we're here. It's good that we're here." Great-grandmother said with a trace of excitement. In the next moment, they came out of the flying shuttle. An invisible energy was released, isolating the world. Normal martial artists would not be able to discover their existence. Their group quickly descended toward the crack in Grave Split City. Great-grandmother handed Yang Taiha's sacred bone to Yang Wu and said, "Child, it's up to you to find Taiha's location." Yang Wu nodded and instructed everyone to move in a certain direction. Soon, they arrived in the direction Yang Wu pointed. Yang Wu pointed at a stone and said seriously, "Senior Taiha is here." Great-grandmother excitedly said, "Good, very good. Listen to my orders and immediately seal off this place. Lay down the 8 trigrams heavenlock formation and do not let anyone come close. Not even a fly can fly in." "Yes, great-grandmother," everyone replied in unison. They had received news of Yang Taiha a few days ago and did not immediately rush over. Other than waiting for Yang Wu, the most important thing was to lay down the 8 trigrams heavenlock formation. Only by isolating everything here could they ensure that nothing would go wrong. Once they destroyed the spatial restriction here, the saint who had laid down this restriction would definitely sense it and kill his way over. The Yang family did not wish for any accidents to happen. The 8 saints each took out a sacred stone. The sacred stone was the size of a small mountain and was covered in dense formation runes. There were also demon cores embedded in it. Each of them was a saint-level existence. The 8 sacred stones were controlled by the saints and fell in 8 different directions. The sacred stones emitted waves of sacred qi. The power of the sacred qi intertwined and enveloped the sky, sealing off the surrounding 10 miles. Heavenlock. In the end, great-grandmother raised her walking stick and pointed it at the top of the formation. A majestic saint force combined with the power of the formation. The formation quickly activated, completely forming the invisible 8 trigrams heavenlock formation. At this moment, Even if someone were to pass by, they would consciously take a detour. They would not notice anything amiss. Yang Wu, who was beside his great-grandmother, suddenly felt a burst of power coming from her old and frail body. His body was shaken, and he was sent flying. Fortunately, this power was not used to deal with him. Otherwise, he would have been ground to dust. Child, quickly use your essence blood and sacred bone as a guide, and lead us into the space where Taiha is. Great-grandmother instructed Yang Wu. I've used up a lot of my essence blood. I won't use it this time, Yang Wu replied. Previously, he had used up too much of the power of the demon taming token and lost a lot of essence blood. This was not something that could be replenished with ordinary blood replenishment items. If he used up more of his essence blood, he would suffer an excessive loss. It would be quite a burden on his body. Child, once we return to the clan, I'll let you enter the pool of ancestral blood. It'll make up for your losses, great-grandmother said kindly. However, Yang Wu did not seem to hear her at all. A soul-eye opened on his forehead and directly landed on the stone. He still held onto Yang Taiha's sacred bone and said faintly, Senior Taiha, Yang Wu has come as promised. Please receive me, Senior Taiha. A soul-eye. Why? You've condensed a soul-eye. The heavens have opened their eyes. The heavens have opened their eyes. Great-grandmother suddenly began to dance with joy. The other saints of the Yang clan were shocked. Soon, their eyes were focused on Yang Wu's face, and they were all extremely surprised. 3 of them were overjoyed, while the other 5 had complicated looks in their eyes. They did not know what to feel in their hearts. It was said that this was a unique, innate potential. In the history of the Yang family, there were only 3 ancestors who had awakened a soul-eye, and all 3 of them were invincible experts of the Yang family. As a result, the clan believed that whoever could awaken a soul-eye would have the purest bloodline and possess the power of atavism. They possessed extraordinary potential, so they would definitely do everything they could to nurture them. Who would have thought that the 4th person to awaken a soul-eye in the Yang family would be a son of the Sin's blood? And this son of the Sin's blood had almost been slain by his own people. Thinking of this, Yang Qingxing couldn't help but shiver. He couldn't help but feel anxious. Over the years, in order to secure the position of the patriarch, he had indeed secretly used many unfair methods against the Black Tortoise bloodline. He had even heard that Yang Wu's bloodline had atavism and even wanted to deprive him of his bloodline. Although this matter involved an old matter from 800 years ago, the moment Yang Wu awakened to soul-eye, all of his evil thoughts were put away. If Yang Wu had just received great-grandmother's approval, then there was nothing to be afraid of. But now, Yang Wu would definitely become one of the most important figures in the younger generation of the Yang family. If he touched him, great-grandmother might really get angry. Yang Mingfa exclaimed excitedly in his heart, I didn't expect this kid's potential to be so extraordinary. Looks like our Black Tortoise bloodline is going to rise again. Yang Wu wasn't in the mood to pay attention to what they were thinking. He used the power of his soul-eye to touch the stone and held the saint bone in one hand. Yang Taiha should be able to sense it. Sure enough, not long after, the stone produced a suction force that pulled Yang Wu into a spatial crack. At this time, great-grandmother also moved. She lightly reprimanded, spatial tracking technique, break for me. She had already left a mark on Yang Wu's saint bone. With the help of a secret technique, she could directly tear through space and chase after the saint bone in Yang Wu's hand to the place where Yang Taiha was trapped. The other saints didn't delay and helped great-grandmother tear through space. Rumble, rumble. Chapter 682. Grave Split City suddenly began to shake. The crisscrossing cracks cracked once again, forming a new disaster. The citizens living in the new city were all shocked and rushed out of their houses, thinking that an earthquake had occurred. A few powerful cultivators soared into the sky to search for the source of the tremors, but they did not find anything strange, which made them puzzled. In the war race world, in a mountain range in the fire domain, there was a cave that was closed. Suddenly, a terrifying aura appeared and a figure soared into the sky from the cave. The blazing fire was like the sun. It was extremely shocking. The angry figure looked at grave split city and muttered, "The thousands of years old seal has been broken. Could it be that guy hasn't been burned to death yet? Or did someone accidentally touch the seal?" The figure hesitated for a while before deciding to fly in the direction he sensed. In the Chuan-Du world, at the peak of Amei Golden Peak, there was a simple bamboo house. A beautiful young woman walked out barefoot. She was like a fairy, with ice skin and jade bones. Her temperament was ethereal, and no one could tell that she was an old monster that had lived for thousands of years. She stood with her hands behind her back and looked into the distance as she muttered, "Is he still alive?" In the next moment, a green sword appeared in front of her eyes. She stepped on the green sword and turned into a beam of light that pierced through the sky. Sword riding flight. This was the Tao of sword riding flight that could only be achieved by the enlightened sword heart. Grave Split City. The spatial seal that sealed Yang Taiha was completely destroyed by the Yang family's great-grandmother and the Yang family's saint. A crack appeared in the space, and this crack was the place where Yang Taiha was trapped. Behind the spatial crack was the dragon tomb, which was also where Yang Taiha's wife died. At this moment, Yang Wu appeared in front of a black ball of demonic flame. This ball of flame was the Xing family's unique Xinghua. Inside this ball of flame was a human skeleton that was being burnt. There was an extremely weak fluctuation of life within it. "Senior Taiha, I came as promised." Yang Wu respectfully bowed to Yang Taiha and said, this senior was able to persist for thousands of years without being burned to death, which showed how terrifying he was. If they could save him this time, it would be a great favor. Looks like I wasn't wrong about you." Yang Taiha sent out a weak voice transmission. "Senior, what should I do next?" Yang Wu asked. "Wait a moment," Yang Taiha replied. Soon, the Yang family's great-grandmother and the 8 saints appeared in the crack. The Yang family's great-grandmother looked at Yang Taiha's position with her sharp eyes and said excitedly, "Taiha, my son, is it really you? Who would have thought that this Yang family's great-grandmother was actually Yang Taiha's mother? No wonder her position in the Yang family was so respected." "Mother, it's me. Please use the ancestral item to help me escape. I can't hold on much longer. After you guys barged in, the Xing family in Mount Amei must have been alerted. We must leave this place as soon as possible." Yang Taiha also responded emotionally. All right. I'll summon the ancestral item and escort you home. Then, I'll help you get rid of this Xing fire." The Yang family's great-grandmother hurriedly agreed. In the next moment, a heaven-defying item flew out from her body. It was one of the Yang family's ancestral items, the 9-lotus divine throne. This was a living 9-petal divine lotus. It had 9 crystal-clear petals, and a trace of holy aura emanated from it. In the middle of it, there was a lotus pod floating with astonishing holy chi. Any petal could bring someone back to life, and any lotus chi could increase one's cultivation. Sitting cross-legged on it, one could cultivate at a rapid pace. It was a pity that the 9 lotus divine throne's most important lotus seeds had been lost. It couldn't display its full power. Otherwise, it would be even more shocking. "All of you protect me. I will break their restrictions." The Yang family's great-grandmother gave the 8 saints some instructions. Then, she started to break the seal that bound this place. Only by breaking the seal could they save Yang Taiha. In the past, many saints had worked together to set up this seal. If any of the seal's power was wrong, the seal's power would explode. When that happened, Yang Taiha would still be dead. The Yang family's great-grandmother's senses were very strong, but she still had to be careful. This was a matter of life and death for her son. Bang bang. The Yang family's great-grandmother lived up to her name as a top-tier saint. She had at least reached the 12-star pattern level. She was only a step away from breaking through to this level. She was sharp enough to discover the flaws in these seals. She kept tapping with her walking stick, and in the blink of an eye, hundreds of seals were broken. However, there were still the most crucial seals that couldn't be broken so easily. Even she didn't dare to break them. "Child, come here. Help Grandma see where the flaws in the seal are." The Yang family's great-grandmother waved at Yang Wu. Yang Wu immediately rushed over and replied, "Yes, Grandma. Let me try." In the next moment, he opened his soul eye and observed the seal's power. He could vaguely see the dense seal's power, but it was easier said than done to find the flaws. This was a seal set up by a saint. His soul, I was still greatly restricted. If he was in the dragon transformation realm, perhaps he wouldn't find it so difficult. However, he didn't want to disappoint his great-grandmother. He activated the Soul Control Heart Sutra and injected the power of his fighting soul into his soul eye. He could see the entire situation of the seal. "Grandma, I can only record the situation of the seal here. I will send the image to you," Yang Wu said. He condensed what he saw into a wisp of consciousness and sent it to his great-grandmother. The Yang family's great-grandmother quickly accepted it. It was as if she had seen the seal's power with her own eyes. Once again, she began to carefully break the seal. This time, she didn't dare to be careless. Every time she broke a seal, she had to pause for a while before she could continue. At this speed, she would need at least a day to break all the seal's power. Yang Wu could only be anxious at the side. He couldn't help much. After half a day, there was a spatial fluctuation in the sky above Grave Fisher City. A fiery figure walked out of the space. He was like a sun shining in all directions. He looked extremely sacred. This was Xing Mingyang, a saint from the Xing family. He was one of the ancestors. There were 7 star patterns on his back. His amazing Saint Qi could directly absorb the power of the stars. He was a high-level saint. "Sure enough, there's a change," Xing Mingyang murmured with narrowed eyes. He stretched out a palm and pressed down. This was a shocking flaming palm that contained traces of black flames. It covered this part of the world as if the sky was collapsing. Bang! When the fire palm fell below, the 8 trigrams heaven lock matrix finally showed its power. The power of the 8 trigrams circulated and quickly spread the fire palm's power in all directions. It didn't let the fire palm's power destroy the space. Xing Mingyang's eyes flickered. The 8 trigrams heaven lock matrix. It seems that you are well prepared, but this matrix's power is limited. Let's see how many times it can withstand my attacks. Then he slapped out again. This time, the power of the palm was even stronger than before. A large amount of black fire fell and burned the 8 trigrams heavenlock matrix. Xing fire was the Xing family's unique sacred fire. It was born from the Xing family's ancestors and had the terrifying power to devour everything. The power of the matrix below was being refined and devoured by the black fire. No matter how powerful the matrix was, it would be completely incinerated. "Someone is breaking in. Let's go out and guard," a young family saint exclaimed. The next moment, the 8 of them rushed out and returned to their positions at the center of the matrix. They strengthened the matrix to protect the world. When they saw who it was, they were all shocked. One of them exclaimed, "Xing Mingyang, people of the Yang family, quickly remove the matrix and get out of here. Otherwise, you will be buried here with me." Xing Mingyang looked down at the 8 Yang family saints below and said, although Xing Mingyang had only condensed 7 star patterns, his real combat power was comparable to a saint with 10 star patterns. After reaching the star pattern realm, every star pattern was extremely difficult to increase. It required too much power. After thousands of years, Xing Mingyang had only reached the 7th level of the star pattern realm. However, he was definitely an overlord in the transcendent world. "Xing Mingyang, you better leave quickly. Otherwise, you won't have a good ending," Yang Qingxing exclaimed. "You ruined our Yang family's business. Even if I have to risk my life, I will make you pay the price," Yang Mingfa said ruthlessly. "You don't have the ability to do that. Wait until I break your matrix. Then I will get rid of you and your Yang family," Xing Mingyang said with a hint of madness. Just as he was about to attack, the space fluctuated again. A beautiful young woman flew over on her sword. "Wuqing, you're here too." Xing Mingyang saw the beautiful young woman and greeted her with a strange expression. "The seal is about to be broken. Naturally, I have to come and take a look," Luo Wuqing replied indifferently. "Let's join forces to destroy this place and completely end what happened back then. Otherwise, there will be more problems," Xing Mingyang said. "All right," Luo Wuqing replied indifferently. "Then I'll go first. Heaven-devouring fire," Xing Mingyang shouted. His hands formed a seal and shot out a black flame. It was like a devouring fire beast that charged towards the 8 trigrams heaven-lock matrix. Luo Wuqing formed a sword with her finger. Her emotionless eyes fell behind the 8 trigrams heaven-lock matrix. The sword light broke through the air and slashed towards the matrix with a torrential, emotionless sword Dao. Join forces to activate the matrix. The Yang family's strongest saint, a 5th-level star pattern realm saint, shouted. The Yang family's 8 saints joined forces to activate the 8 trigrams heaven-lock matrix. A huge 8 trigrams diagram appeared in the sky. A powerful force scattered the power of the attack in all directions. There was also a strong defensive force that blocked the 2 shocking saint forces. Even so, the ground shook again. The citizens of Grave Fisher City were greatly frightened. Grave Fisher City changed. Chapter 683. Earthquake. Run. Run. It might be a battle between 2 peerless experts. The energy fluctuations are too powerful. Quick, tell the city lord to open the defensive formation. Holy war. It's definitely a holy war. What's going on? Why did Grave Split City start a holy war for no reason? It's coming from the direction of the dragon tomb. Is the evil dragon turning over? The people of Grave Split City panicked. The city was not far from where the battle was taking place. Under the powerful fluctuations of power, many buildings collapsed and cracks appeared on the ground. Some civilians were killed on the spot. Many king-level warriors and above wanted to fly into the sky, but there was an extremely powerful force suppressing the world. They could not fly at all. Fortunately, Grave Split City had already set up a large formation. It quickly opened and isolated the disaster. At the same time, several minor saints flew out of the city. They looked at the direction of the battle with horror in their eyes. They knew that there was a holy war happening in front of them. It wasn't something they could stop. They didn't even have the courage to approach. The 8 trigrams heaven-lock formation was one of the most powerful formations in the Holy War. Xing Mingyang and Luo Wuqing attacked at the same time. Their high-level holy force had the power to destroy the world. If it landed in other places, even the city would be completely destroyed. The 8 trigrams heaven-lock formation had both defensive and defensive properties. It could block the attacks of the 2. Especially with the protection of the 8 saints. Even opponents stronger than them wouldn't be able to break this formation. This formation was specially prepared by their great-grandmother to save Yang Taihe. It was to prevent others from destroying it. Wuqing, they came prepared. If we don't use our full strength, I'm afraid we won't be able to break this formation. Xing Mingyang looked at Luo Wuqing and said with a faint smile, "Then let's end this once and for all." Luo Wuqing said indifferently. In the next moment, a fire wheel appeared in Xing Mingyang's hand. This fire wheel was both offensive and defensive. It emitted a blazing flame aura. It was Xing Mingyang's holy weapon, the Nether Sun Wheel. A green sword appeared in Luo Wuqing's hand. It was the heartless sword that she used to fly on her sword. 20% of the sacred weapons exploded with dazzling light. One was like a descending sun, while the other was like an azure meteor. The terrifying destructive power was truly frightening. At the Star Mark realm, every move and style could borrow the power of the heavenly cycle to unleash peerless power. The Yang clan's 8 sages looked grave. The level 5-star rune saint shouted, "Activate the array with all your might. We must stop them from breaking the array." Heaven lock, earth lock lock, vibrating lock lock lock. The 8 trigrams and 8 locks rotated at the same time, forming a huge lock formation that sealed off the heaven and earth, blocking the 2 waves of crazy attacks. Rumble. The vibrations caused by this terrifying power were too intense. Yang Wu, who was in the spatial crevice, was shaken to the point that his eardrums bled. His blood and qi churned, and he felt as if his head was about to explode. This was the protective power that his great-grandmother had given him. Yang Wu looked at her gratefully and praised in his heart. Grandma is a good person. His great-grandmother was still focused on breaking the formation. With her ability, it wasn't difficult for her to destroy the formation. The difficult part was breaking the formation without hurting Yang Wu. This was why she had borrowed the power of Yang Wu's soul, to figure out the formation of the formation. The battle outside didn't seem to have much to do with her. In fact, her heart was already raging with anger. Thousands of years ago, she hadn't been able to protect her son and thought that he had completely fallen. Thousands of years later, when she saw that her son was only a skeleton and that his life mark could be extinguished at any time, she felt like her heart was being cut by a knife. However, after many years of cultivation, she already knew how to control her emotions. Saving her son was the most important thing now. She could temporarily endure everything else. Bang! In just a few blinks of an eye, many more restrictive powers were broken. At the same time, his great-grandmother's voice sounded in Yang Wu's ear. Sit cross-legged on the ancestral item and cultivate first, so that I won't be distracted by protecting you. Is this okay? Yang Wu said with a trembling voice. Don't be so wishy-washy. Hurry up and go up. I'll need your help later, his great-grandmother said sternly. Yang Wu was given a fright. He quickly flew toward the 9 Lotus Divine Throne and sat down. What kind of divine item was the 9 Lotus Divine Throne? It was an existence that surpassed divine items and belonged to the heavens. When Yang Wu sat down, the immortal qi in his body became incomparably cheerful. The little green sprout even showed signs of greed. Even the supreme 9 Mysteries mantra was circulating many times faster than usual. Yang Wu sat down cross-legged. A warm and cold feeling came over him. After this aura entered his body, it immediately made him feel so comfortable that he wanted to moan softly. Even if a saint sat on the 9 Lotus Divine Throne, it could rapidly increase his strength, let alone a warrior in the heavenly fish realm like Yang Wu. The pores on Yang Wu's body expanded as he rapidly absorbed the power of the 9 Lotus Divine Throne. The Xianqi liquid in the earth sea rapidly increased. The heavenly fish, which had already produced a trace of dragon's might, greedily absorbed this power. The heavenly fish's body was rapidly growing. It swam faster and faster in the earth's sea, and even felt like it could bounce off. The fish scales on its body emitted a faint light. If its entire body could emit light, it would mean that it had broken through to the high-level heavenly fish realm. Yang Wu couldn't reach that step in an instant, but the realm in his body was clearly increasing rapidly. He sighed with emotion, as expected of the Yang family's ancestral item. Not only can it heal injuries, but it can also increase mystical qi. It's too powerful. A saint of the Yang family was distracted and saw Yang Wu sitting on the 9 Lotus Divine Throne. His jaw almost dropped. Even the current patriarch didn't have the right to sit on the throne. It had always been occupied by the Yang family's great-grandmother, and no one dared to ask her for it. The use of this divine item wasn't that simple. Every lotus seed it contained was enough to help a peak minor saint break through to the saint realm. It could also increase the power of star runes. If the 9 Lotus Divine Throne hadn't been destroyed and most of the lotus seeds lost, the Yang family wouldn't have so few saints. After Yang Wu felt the extraordinariness of the 9 Lotus Divine Throne, he didn't think too much about it. He quickly absorbed the power. But before he could absorb much power, he heard a voice in the god's palace. "Child, I need your help." Yang Wu thought it was his great-grandmother speaking, but the voice didn't sound like it. He looked at her and saw that she was still breaking the seal. "Who?" Yang Wu asked. "It's me," the voice replied. "Who are you? What do you want?" "I'm telling you, don't mess around." Yang Wu showed a trace of fear. The saints here were so strong. Who else could take advantage of this situation? It had to be someone extremely strong. "You're sitting on me," the voice replied again. When Yang Wu heard this, his butt almost jumped up, but he quickly came back to his senses and realized that the 9 Lotus Divine Throne was talking to him. He looked down at the 9 Lotus Divine Throne and asked, "You're the Lotus Divine Throne?" "Yes, I need your help," the 9 Lotus Divine Throne replied. Now Yang Wu was finally relieved. This was a divine item. It didn't want to harm him. Instead, it needed his help. Everything was negotiable. What puzzled Yang Wu was that the 9 Lotus Divine Throne was a divine item. He was only a heavenly fish. How could he help it? Yang Wu asked, "How can I help you? I can sense that there's a power in your body that can help me revive. I need that power. The power in my body, my power is so weak. How can I help you? Stop messing around. Don't worry, I don't need all of your power. I just need you to give me some, and I'll be able to revive. As a reward, I can help you quickly increase your cultivation. I can also give you a divine lotus seed. It can help you reach the saint realm." In an instant, Yang Wu's breathing became much heavier. Who didn't desire the power of the saint realm? After witnessing the power of a saint, Yang Wu hoped that one day he would be able to break through to the saint realm and defeat all his enemies. But he was only at the celestial fish realm. There was still a long way to go before he could become a saint. Even the god lotus seed could not refine it. Yang Wu took a deep breath and said, "I really want to help you, but I can't control that power right now. I might not be able to help you." He understood that the 9 lotus god throne was talking about the power. Aside from the strand of immortal energy, there was no other power that could catch its eye. Plus, the immortal energy was currently absorbing the 9 lotus god throne's aura. However, the absorbed power was channeled into Luya Ur. It didn't need much of this power. "You are its master. I believe you will be able to control it one day. I hope that you can save me when that day comes." The 9 lotus god throne begged. "Okay, since you've said so, I'll do my best. But isn't one divine lotus seed too little?" Yang Wu's eyes turned and said, "As long as I can revive, you can have as many as you want." The 9 lotus god throne said, "Okay, deal. How about you help me increase my cultivation first?" Yang Wu readily agreed. "Sure, I'll let you absorb some of my power, but you have to control it well. It will suck me dry. Don't worry, I won't make it hard for you. Welcome my divine lotus chi." Suddenly, the 9 lotus god throne's petals wrapped around Yang Wu. Balls of extremely pure divine lotus chi poured into Yang Wu's body like rain. Yang Wu's regal 9 mysteries art crazily circulated. The immortal energy greedily absorbed this dense power. The heavenly fish in the earth sea opened their mouths and devoured the surging power. Their bodies grew rapidly as their scales emitted a dazzling light. Chapter 684. In Grave Split City, all kinds of strange phenomena were constantly churning in the sky. There seemed to be black clouds surging, sword lights breaking through, and 8 trigrams flying into the sky. No matter what kind of strange phenomenon it was, the power it released was extremely astonishing. Grave Split City's defensive formation was shaken quite heavily, as if it would crack open at any moment. Black dragons swallows the heavens. Ruthless death. Xing Mingyang and Luo Wuqing used their full strength, not holding back at all. In the sky above, there seemed to be a black dragon bearing its fangs and brandishing its claws as it swooped down. The raging flames were enough to burn the sky and boil the sea. In addition, a long sword cut through the space, cleaving through layers of obstacles and falling on the 8 trigrams heavenlock formation. Rumble, rumble. The power of the saints exploded without end, and waves of chi swept out. Those who were dozens of miles away had no time to escape and were killed by these waves of power. Wuqing, the 8 trigrams heavenlock formation's defensive power is too strong. If we don't use some extreme methods, I'm afraid we won't be able to break through. Xing Mingyang looked at the formation that was still tightly locked, and a trace of impatience appeared on his face. "What do you want to say?" Luo Wuqing asked indifferently. "Use our innate abilities," Xing Mingyang replied. A small black sun appeared between his brows, and the rich flames completely gathered there. Soon, the sun turned into a black flame hole, and a throbbing aura swept out. Luo Wuqing glanced at Xing Mingyang, and an inexplicable brilliance suddenly flashed from her liver. A green sword like a crescent moon appeared, and its shocking and oppressive aura was quite terrifying. "Black sun, devour," Xing Mingyang said faintly, and pointed 2 fingers directly crushing down on the 8 trigrams heavenlock formation. This power had 2 strong characteristics. One was the fire power that could incinerate everything, and the other was the explosive power of devouring, which could incinerate and devour everything. The surrounding air was swept away, and the temperature rapidly soared, as if the sun was pressing down, as if the end of the world had arrived. Ruthless moon tears. Luo Wuqing's innate ability attack was like a crescent moon sword, and there were traces of tears on the sword. These crystal tears represented that she had cut off all emotions and attachments to the mortal world and mercilessly destroyed everything. When these two peerless innate abilities fell, the 8 trigrams Heavenlock formation finally showed signs of weakness. The formation's power showed signs of cracking, and the formation could break at any time. Everyone, hold on with all your strength. Don't let the formation break. The Yang clan's holy elder shouted. Vow to resist the array formation to the death. Don't let them harm Patriarch High River. Yang Mingfa roared. They poured all of their saint energy into the saint stone and continued to support the power of the array to prevent the two of them from breaking the array together. The 8 trigrams Heavenlock matrix was worthy of being called the strongest sacred matrix. Even with the support of the 8 great saints, it was able to block the attacks of the two once again. Again, Xing Mingyang shouted in dissatisfaction. Luo Wuqing was about to attack again, but she seemed to have sensed something. She glanced in a direction and saw the space there distort, and a huge shadow quietly appeared. Haha, I didn't expect Yang Taihe to still be alive after thousands of years. That means you two left behind are really useless. A sharp voice laughed and mocked. Tian Peng Daoist. Xing Mingyang squinted at the newcomer. It was a man and a Peng. A huge golden-winged Peng shrouded the sky, and its wings covered the sky. Golden light flashed in all directions, and it was extremely dazzling. A middle-aged man dressed in Taoist robes sat cross-legged on the back of the Peng. He had a dignified appearance, and his eyes were like golden light. He held a wine pot in his hand and carried a golden saber on his back. He looked quite heroic. Tian Peng Daoist was a figure who had been famous for thousands of years. Rumor had it that he had the blood of the Tian Peng flowing in his body. Not only was he born close to the Tian Peng, but he also had the Tian Peng race's innate ability to attack. Back then, Tian Peng Daoist was one of the pursuers of Yang Taihe's lover, the Dragon Lady. Tian Peng Daoist had also participated in the battle against Yang Taihe. He had also taken part in the restriction here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sensed the changes here. After thousands of years, Tian Peng Daoist's cultivation level was even higher than Xing Mingyang's. He had condensed 9 star patterns and was only 1 step away from the peak of the Saint Realm. Xing Mingyang, so many years have passed, but you're still the same. You haven't improved much. Tian Peng Daoist took a sip of wine and looked at Xing Mingyang with a trace of disdain. He then looked at Luo Wuqing and said, Fairy Wuqing, you're becoming more and more beautiful. Did you rush here just to talk nonsense? Luo Wuqing said coldly. She seemed to have this attitude towards everyone because she cultivated the heartless Sword Dao. Haha, Fairy Wuqing is truly heartless. It's time to put an end to the trouble we left behind. Tian Peng Daoist laughed. Then let's work together to break this formation first. Xing Mingyang replied. Of course, the Yang clan can't even withstand a single blow. Let's take this opportunity to make them unable to rise again. Tian Peng Daoist said heroically. Thus, the 3 high-level saints attacked together and tried to break the formation again. With the addition of Tian Peng Daoist, their destructive power was even more terrifying. The Yang clan's saints were shaken to the point of vomiting blood. They probably wouldn't be able to last much longer. Xing Mingyang, Luo Wuqing, Tian Peng Daoist, do you really want to fight to the death with our Yang clan? The Yang clan's level 5-star pattern saint roared. His name was Yang Liuyu, one of the strongest saints of the Black Tortoise bloodline. This time, in order to save Yang Taihe, the Yang clan's great-grandmother had only summoned them temporarily. A portion of them were out and not in the clan. The other 2 from the Azure bloodline were in seclusion and hadn't come out. If the Azure bloodline had gone all out to help, they wouldn't have been forced into such a state. Hee hee. Aren't we already fighting to the death? Tian Peng Daoist sneered. If we destroy you, the Yang clan would be swept out of the battle realm. Xing Yang said coldly. Luo Wuqing didn't say anything, but his rising power was enough to prove everything. The three high-level saints attacked at the same time. 3 waves of destructive power poured down. What power could stop them? At this moment, the Yang clan's 8 saints used all their strength to protect the formation. They only had one thought, and that was to protect the Yang clan's great-grandmother and save Yang Taihe, even if they had to die. In the crevice, the Yang clan's great-grandmother's eyes were filled with anxiety. She could clearly sense the movements outside. Her mind was in a mess. She thought to herself, I still need an hour to completely break these restrictions. You guys must hold on. The great-grandmother's heart was in a mess. Her movements were getting slower and slower. She could already sense that the people outside wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. She really wanted to go back and kill the 3 of them, but she couldn't afford to be distracted. At this point, the slightest mistake would cause the restrictions here to explode. At that time, Yang Taihe would definitely die. Rumble, rumble. Another wave of attack fell. The 8 trigrams lock formation diagram exploded. The Yang clan's 8 saints all vomited blood and smashed into the deep pit. Their auras were incomparably dispirited. We've finally broken this formation. Fortunately, it's only a defensive formation. If it was an offensive and defensive battle, it wouldn't be so easy to deal with. The Yang clan has really declined. Tian Peng Daoist laughed. Quickly kill them, Xing Yang said with a sharp glint in his eyes. You guys take care of them. I'll take care of Yang Taihe. Luo Wuqing said. Tian Peng Daoist and Xing Yang nodded and charged toward the Yang clan's 8 saints. Yang Liuyu raised his battle spear and roared. Do they really think we're pushovers? Let's join forces and fight them. Whoever disrupts our Yang clan's plans is our enemy. Yang Mingfa shouted with vigor. Let's unite and fight against the enemy. Yang Qingxing shouted. The Yang clan's 8 saints all unleashed their strongest combat power and joined forces to fight against the 3 people in front of them. The holy war had begun. What kind of terrifying power was that? Many strange phenomena appeared one after another, and large areas of land were destroyed. It was as if the end of the world had arrived, scaring the citizens of Grave Split City. They were afraid that the power would destroy the city's great formation, and they would have no way to escape. Under the fluctuations of the battle power, great-grandmother's hands trembled. She was being affected more and more. Her emotions also became more and more violent. She could no longer hold back and was about to attack. Black Tortoise Battle Aura. Azure Battle Aura. The Yang clan's 8 saints weren't pushovers. They went all out and unleashed the innate power of their bloodline. Each of their combat power rose sharply, especially Yang Liuyu's. He had condensed the spirit of Black Tortoise, and his combat power had increased by 30 times. It was enough to compete with a level 8 star pattern saint. Yang Liuyu's combat power had increased by 30 times before he could fight with a level 8 star pattern saint. It could be seen how terrifying the power gap between each level of star pattern saint was. The rest of the Yang clan's combat power had increased by 5 to 10 times. They displayed the imposing manner of a battle clan. However, with the increase in their combat power, the others' combat power wasn't limited to that. Xing Yang himself had reached the level 7 star pattern saint. When he activated the Xing clan's unique Xing Huiqi, he could unleash the power of a level 10 star pattern saint. Luo Wuqing cultivated the emotionless Sword Dao. Her sword force was incomparably powerful, and she also had the power to threaten a level 10 saint. Tian Peng Daoist had the Tian Peng bloodline. In addition to his combat power, his speed could be said to be peerless. Waves of saint power kept splashing and exploding. The area within a radius of 10 miles was destroyed. The Yang clan saint's defense was broken, and Luo Wuqing broke through into the crevice space. Luo Wuqing's gaze fell on great-grandmother. First, she revealed a trace of surprise. Then, she didn't waste any words and slashed out mercilessly. Her target was Yang Taihe. You dare! Great-grandmother shouted angrily. However, they had reached a critical moment. If she stopped, Yang Taiha would die. If she didn't stop to receive Luo Wuqing's attack, he would also die. She hated it to the core. At the critical moment, an anxious voice sounded. "Grandmother, I'll block her. You continue to save people." Chapter 685. Who would have thought that Yang Wu, who was the weakest among them, would suddenly say that he wanted to fight against a high-level saint? It was like an ant trying to shake a tree. The Yang family's great-grandmother glanced at Yang Wu with surprise in her eyes. She was as excited as when she saw Yang Taiha. Yang Wu had actually become one with the 9 Lotus Divine Throne. He sat cross-legged on the 9 Lotus Divine Court like a son of God. He guided an extremely majestic energy towards Luo Wuqing. Whoosh! The power of the Divine Lotus was no less than the power of a high-level saint. This energy was shot out by Yang Wu's finger light. It was smooth and natural. The finger light collided with the emotionless sword Dao, and the two forces exploded. Countless Xin Qi rippled in all directions. Yang Wu's power was broken by Luo Wuqing's sword light, but part of the sword momentum still pierced towards Yang Wu. At this moment, the Divine Lotus flickered. Strands of defensive power combined and blocked the sword intent outside. "Borrow my power to hit her. You can't let her keep attacking. Otherwise, I won't be able to hold on for long." The Divine Lotus transmitted a message to Yang Wu. "All right, I'll fight with a saint today." Yang Wu's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. The battle blood in his body was constantly increasing. His combat strength was dozens of times stronger, but this bit of power was not enough. The heavenly fish in his earth sea was still frantically absorbing the power of the Divine Lotus. It was about to break through to the high-level heavenly fish realm. Nameless sword. Yang Wu did not show any mercy. He held the Phoenix Profound Sword and slashed out a shocking sword. This sword was supported by the power of the Divine Lotus. It was filled with destructive sword momentum. It broke through layers of galaxies and reached the other side of the starry sky. The strange connection it created shocked Yang Wu. He had always thought that this sword and Meteor Sword were of the same origin. Now, he realized that was not the case. Meteor Sword's attack was as fast as a meteor, and this sword could completely destroy the stars. It was extremely domineering and could be called the destruction of the galaxy. Galaxy Sword. Luo Wuqing's pupils constricted, and he couldn't help but cry out in alarm. At the same time, he waved his emotionless sword, and his emotionless sword Dao blocked Yang Wu's sword. Another round of explosions rang out incessantly as numerous sword chis were sent flying. Fortunately, they were in a spatial crevice. If they were in the outside world, who knew how much ground would be destroyed? Seeing that Yang Wu and the 9 Lotus Divine Throne were able to block Luo Wuqing, the great-grandmother of the Yang family finally let out a sigh of relief. Her gaze focused as she muttered, "After I rescue Tai He, I will definitely raise this child well." In the next moment, the Yang family's great-grandmother's hands were like butterflies flitting through flowers. Strands of energy shuttled through the restrictions, breaking them one by one. At this moment, she'd entered the state of being one with the world, temporarily forgetting about the threat of the outside world. She put all her heart and soul into breaking the restriction here. Only in this way would she be able to help the others as soon as possible. Die. Luo Wuqing was much stronger than Yang Wu. Even if Yang Wu used the power of the God Lotus, he could only stop her. It was almost impossible to force her back. She could also see that Yang Wu's true strength was limited. Her eyes condensed terrifying soul force as she charged at Yang Wu. After reaching the Saint Realm, one soul had undergone a new transformation. Simple soul force attacks could be easily done. Yang Wu possessed the Soul Control Heart Sutra and had condensed his fighting soul. However, he was caught off guard and still suffered from the impact. Fortunately, his fighting soul was able to defend itself. Otherwise, his mind would have been destroyed and his soul would have been completely erased. "You vicious and merciless woman, you only have a good appearance, but your murderous aura is so heavy. This heavenly king is so handsome and extraordinary, but you still want to erase my soul. Wait for me to capture you, and I'll make you my bed-warming maid." Yang Wu shouted, and controlled the power of the divine lotus to attack again. Reverse Dragon Spear Art. This time, Yang Wu brandished the Yang family's ancestral spear art. The lotus chi turned into a roaring true dragon that charged at Luo Wuqing. This time, Yang Wu instantly brandished several moves. One move after another. He did his best to delay Luo Wuqing. "He's not dead." Luo Wuqing discovered that Yang Wu was still alive and was attacking her. This made her extremely surprised. She did not want to delay any longer. She continuously slashed out with the emotionless sword in her hand. Yang Wu's power was shattered inch by inch. The power of the emotionless sword Dao slashed at him again. That terrifying power was frightening. Once Yang Wu came into contact with it, he would be killed. Fortunately, the Divine Lotus had a defensive power that blocked the attack once again. However, when it blocked the attack, cracks appeared on the petals. Its life force was decreasing. Luo Wuqing sensed that the great-grandmother of the Yang family was moving faster. She did not want to pay attention to Yang Wu anymore. She quickly went around Yang Wu and the God Lotus and attacked the great-grandmother of the Yang family. The power of a saint was very scary when it came to controlling the power of the sky and the earth. It was very easy for her to hurt someone from a distance. Block it. Yang Wu clearly did not want Luo Wuqing to break through. He used the God Lotus to block it again. The 9 Lotus God Throne released a lot of power. It formed a lotus wall that blocked Luo Wuqing's power again. This time, not only was the God Lotus damaged, but even Yang Wu was affected by the holy power. His 7 orifices were bleeding, and he almost fainted. A battle of this level was too far away from him. Even if he used the power of the God Lotus, it was still not enough. Luo Wuqing's attack was blocked again. She was dissatisfied. Her liver's talent was activated. Merciless Cold Moon slashed out like a sword. The green light was even scarier than her merciless sword Dao. Even the defense of the God Lotus could not block it. The God Lotus's life force quickly withered. Its life force was almost gone. However, it used the last of its power to protect Yang Wu. It did not let Yang Wu be killed by the attack. "It looks like I won't be able to wait until you can control that power," the God Lotus said sadly. If it was at its peak, Luo Wuqing would not be able to hurt it. Unfortunately, it had lost 70 to 80% of its life force. It was difficult to recover it over the years. There was no way to stop Luo Wuqing. Yang Wu could feel the God Lotus quickly wither. He roared, "No, I won't let you die. Immortal Qi, come out." Yang Wu crazily channeled the Supreme 9 profound mantra. The power of the Divine Court and Dantian moved at the same time. The power of the 1,000 holes in his Dantian exploded. His Xin Qi flowed crazily. However, the Immortal Qi was still as stable as Mount Tai. It was not affected by him. Yang Wu was almost in despair. He looked at Luya and shouted, "Let the Immortal Qi come out and help me. Otherwise, I will refine you." It was unknown if Luya heard Yang Wu's threat or if his Supreme 9 profound mantra had taken effect. A small portion of the Immortal Qi seeped out from his body and landed on the 9 Lotus Divine Throne. When this strand of Immortal Qi entered the 9 Lotus Divine Throne, it suddenly emitted a boundless brilliance. Its vitality was rapidly recovering. The originally injured parts were healed again. Its vitality and strength were much higher than before. "It's that power. That's great," the God Lotus exclaimed. He did not dare to hesitate and used his strongest attack. 9 lotuses harmonized the heavens. The power of the 9 lotus petals enveloped the area. It enveloped Luo Wuqing, who was about to attack the Yang family's grandmother and Yang Taiha. Strands of divine lotus aura sealed the area. It was not inferior to the power of the 8 trigrams Heavenlock formation. "You can still struggle. Destroy all of you." Luo Wuqing frowned. He continuously waved his emotionless sword. In an instant, he slashed out 1,000 times. Each slash was blinding. Its destructive power was earth-shattering. The 9 Lotus Divine Throne also decided to go all out. It threw 2 lotus seeds at Luo Wuqing. The divine lotus seeds were sacred items that could help a saint increase their strength. At this moment, they exploded at the same time. Rumble, rumble. Wave after wave of explosive power swept through the area. Space cracked, and waves of energy rolled. The momentum was shocking. This was the Nine Lotus Divine Throne's desperate battle. It had to stop Luo Wuching from advancing. In addition, it also diverted some of its power into Yang Wu's body. The heavenly fish in Yang Wu's Earth Sea grew rapidly. Its scales shone brightly. It was extremely dazzling. This situation was enough for anyone to enter the advanced heavenly fish realm. However, Yang Wu did not take the opportunity to break through. He continued to pour the power into the heavenly fish's mouth to help it grow stronger and bigger. From the insights left by his cheat master to perfectly break through to the advanced heavenly fish realm, not only did the heavenly scales shine, but the scales also needed to condense into a protective light veil. This was the most perfect way to break through. The power of the Nine Lotus Divine Throne was extremely pure. There was not a trace of impurities, nor was it wild. The heavenly fish could swallow and absorb to its heart's content. The light from its scales gradually formed a light veil. This light veil became more and more solid, as if it was protecting the heavenly fish. Its size was several times larger than before, forming a huge heavenly fish. Suddenly, the mysterious bridge of heaven and earth was like a rainbow. The bright moon shone brightly. The earth sea surged. His meridians and acupoints surged continuously. His body emitted precious light and holy chi. It was as if he was the son of the divine lotus. Heavenly scales shine. This was the symbol of the advanced heavenly fish realm. Yang Wu relied on a wisp of the Nine Lotus Divine Throne's aura to successfully enter this realm. Suddenly, he felt an indescribable power in his body. The injuries he had just suffered were instantly healed. He felt extremely good. However, before he could celebrate, another wave of terrifying power shook him. The blood in his body churned, and his organs were almost displaced. He was in extreme pain. Is there an end to this? Yang Wu had a feeling of extreme joy turning into sorrow. He could not help but curse in anger. I'm sorry. I might not be able to hold on anymore, the divine lotus lamented again. Before Yang Wu could respond, Luo Wuching appeared above him. A terrifying sword chi slashed down from the sky. His mind instantly went blank. He even lost the ability to think. Bang!